welcome you to this broadcast of college football at NKTelco Sports. We're at Dial-Roberson Stadium where today the Fighting Muskies of Muskingum will take on the Polar Bears of Ohio Northern. Tonight's game brought to you by the following sponsors: John and Tony's Restaurant, Four Seasons Drive-Thru, Jalapenos Mexican Grill, Whatever Cards and Games, and NKTelco. Welcome to homecoming here in Ada, Dial-Roberson Stadium, in a packed house on display. A beautiful October sky. It looks like fall. It feels like summer. Mike Kern and Scott Fry here today, and Scott, you really can't ask for a better day to play college football.
I don't think so, Mike. It's a beautiful day, like you said, October sky and October leaves, but it does feel like summer. And we got the window wide open. We can hear the marching band, and here we go, man.
I got yelled at for having the window open last night, and it was a beautiful night for high school football.
Shorts in the box, as they say.
I think people just need to toughen up.
That's right. That's right. This is Ohio, after all. We do have winter here. It's a four-season state.
There is no better day than here at homecoming. Ohio Northern on homecoming have won 16 of their last 24. They beat Marietta 34-33 a year ago, as you see the Bears in their bright orange jerseys. But it's been a struggle for Northern this year. 1-5 overall. They sit at 1-4 in the OAC. Muskingum comes in at 3-3. They're 2-3 in the conference, and a little injection of instant offense in Taz Figueroa at quarterback for Ohio Northern. Hopefully for Dean Paul can go a long way.
Absolutely. He brings that running element to the offense, and that's going to help them out. Kind of keeps the defense honest. They got to keep a guy or two in the box to spy on Taz. So hopefully that will, like you said, get a little energy into the Polar Bears offensive sets today.
And we saw it last week with Figueroa that when he's in there, he kind of helps expand Brock Martin, who's only averaging about 3 yards a carry on the year, the All-American, trying to get himself going. But Figueroa's a difference maker. I know I talk about him a lot for Dean Paul. Now in his 19th year here at Ohio Northern University, and Muskingum on the other side, they have a couple of big playmakers that you're going to hear a lot about. Their quarterback in Jordan Garrett. Once upon a time nearly quit football when he was in high school, but he stayed with it and is now one of the biggest passers in his 36th game at Muskingum in program history. There you see Muskie, who will kick off. Northern will start on the offensive side, and it's, again, been a mixed bag. About 14 points a game as we get ready to take a look quickly at our Keyhole Pizza keys to the game. And you look at what each coach said, Scott, it's kind of fascinating to lean into their mind and see what they came up with.
Well, the offense has struggled this season. You know, just statistically, you can see it. Muskingum, keys to the game here, as you can see on the graphic, they want to stop the ONU run game. They realize Taz is in here. He's going to pose a bigger run threat, so they want to key on that. But they also want to win on special teams today. And a lot of times you can decide the outcome of a ball game with a couple of key special teams plays. And then finally, they want to continue to sustain drives by being great on third downs when the Muskies have the football.
You look at Ohio Northern, there are a lot of keys from Dean Paul. He was actually nice enough to send us 9 of them. We'll break it down to just 3.
So on the Polar Bears side of the ledger, they want to take care of the football, which is, job number 1 is don't commit turnovers, right? Protect the football.
Right,
we have a fumble right out of the game here. Yeah, right out of the gate. So the breeze playing a little factor, not particularly windy, but we're wide open in the flats of Ohio. But also they want to get after the Muskingum quarterback, and with Beavers 6+ sacks on the season, doing some damage on the D-line. They're hoping to exploit that. And then they want to create at least 2 big plays on offense, get those quick scores from anywhere on the field.
Ball on the tee at 1:30 as we're ready to go here in Ada. Bears in the bright orange, ready to return, see if it gets to L.J. Payton. It'll be into the end zone, and that's the start of the ball game. And offense, again, for Northern, the time of possession, I found this one maybe the most fascinating stat of the entire book that I read about ONU was they have exactly 30 minutes of possession on the offensive side, which if you're not good at math, means that there's 30 minutes of half on the other side.
Yeah, you don't see that terribly too often. They tend to do a little bit better passing, 133.5 yards a game passing, 95.7 on the ground, so total offense about 230 yards. So I wouldn't say they're probably one of the more prolific offenses. They're going to want to get it done today on the defensive side of the ball.
Figueroa will start in the shotgun. Couple of receivers. And Coldwater's Noah Miller, the tight end, now from left to right. Northern with that delayed snap. Usually the draw to Brock Martin. That's exactly what happens here on the early part. And a good opening sign for ONU. They pick up 4 yards with Brock Martin on the first play of the game.
That's a great way to start things off. Get 4 positive yards on first down. That opens up the playbook now on 2nd down and 6 for Coach Paul here and the Polar Bears.
A lot more zone read option for Ohio Northern with Figueroa as the quarterback. Again, Noah Miller, tight end on the right side, makes a trip set as he now shuffles his way back to the opposite. Not the greatest night for his alma mater last night, unfortunately.
Tough night at the hands of Tim Goodwin and company as Marion Local gets it done at Coldwater.
Off to Martin again. He ran into traffic at the 30. His teammate, though, Nicky Tangeman's going to be thrilled about how it went.
Absolutely, yeah. Nick Tangeman, a Flyer grad. And not much room to run there, maybe a yard. Looked like he had a good seam there to get started, Mike, but the Muskies defense credit him. They slammed the door and got a good stop there after just a yard gain.
Jet Morgan, who has an amazing mustache. He's got the old Wild Bill Hickok mustache on his profile at the Northern website. The receiver to the right side. Getting kind of a rare start, the 6'3 senior. An academic all-OAC pick. And in motion now for Northern as they try to create some kind of havoc on 3rd and 5. Figueroa out to the left side. Brock Martin is going to lose a yard, and that is a quick hitter and a quick exit for Northern's first possession.
Nice stop out there. Devin Roebuck from the safety position came up, caught that back out there, and golly, beautiful stop. Couldn't ask for anything better for the Muskies to start off with a 3-and-out on defense.
John Michael Elliott will punt for the 40th time. You see him there out of Clover Hills High School in Richmond, Virginia. 38.4. He had a 76-yarder last week. And I asked Tim Blanc on the SID here at Northern, is that the longest? He said, no, 88 yards is the longest punt in Northern history.
Wow.
That's pretty good.
That's
Get a good
insane.
roll on this turf. Almost had it blocked,
Just
a higher
about.
kick than maybe he would have initially thought, and it will not be returned by Trevante Kite. So Muskingum will take over for the first time with 12:47 in the first quarter on the John and Tony scoreboard. It's a punt of 38 yards.
So I'm anxious to see this Muskies offense. They do like to throw the ball around a little bit. 223 yards passing, 216 passing per game, 96 on the ground. So, again, favoring that pass game.
Going to hear a lot of Zuri Edmondson, the receiver on the bottom side of the screen. This will be a handoff on first down, and thundering his way through the hole is quickly the running back in Donnie Wilkinson.
Donnie Wilkinson from right down the road, Lakota East, Westchester. Not a huge gain, 3 yards, but man, I'm wondering if I'm that linebacker right now, which county I'm in. Holy smokes. It's a big hit from the running back.
Somewhere you find him in Hardin County. Pistol set now for Muskingum. So they bring a lot of different looks. A lot of room to work for Garrett. He'll tuck and run himself, and he's got a lot of room to go across the midfield. He'll just take a powder and pick up about 14 yards in a first, 15 yards actually, in a first down.
Great protection at the line of scrimmage for the Muskies, and the back end of the ONU defense doing a nice job, but the front end lost contain, and Garrett able to pull that down and go. Nice pickup, first down of the afternoon for either team.
That gets him over 100 yards rushing on the season on his 47th carry. 3-man front for Northern out of that same pistol. And another quick handoff to Donnie Wilkinson. 5 carries, 14 yards a week ago, but he picks up a quick 4 here.
Gain of 4 on the stop there for ONU. That's number 17, Dalton Jong.
11.7 tackles a game.
Yeah.
That kid's a monster.
He's had, I believe I saw in the stats, 2 games of 15 tackles. That's a busy afternoon.
He did it against Mount Union and against John Carroll. Second down here inside Northern Territory. Opening drive of the game for Muskingum. Edmondson in motion on the right side. Maybe looking inside. Quick slant and a underthrown ball. Stepping up in the pocket, though, Garrett, the All-State baseball player, just couldn't hook up with him. And this
Garrett from Indy.
This is that big play, too, that we talked about earlier. Opponents are about 34% against Northern on third down this year, but it was about getting off of the field. Give pressure. We talked about Dean Paul's keys earlier on. He wants to play discipline, and this is a chance to shut down Muskingum. Garrett takes a snap, looks, flux out of the pocket to the right side, and somehow on the comeback is able to connect with Travis Robertson out of Largo, Florida, and pick up the first down.
Nice catch there. Again, the pressure came, and Garrett stepped up, stayed cool. And ONU had him behind the sticks, and the receiver, I think that was Travati Kett from Florida, number 1, a junior, made a guy miss. Just 5'7" and a $140, but man, he got the job done on that play.
See what the offense looks like. Jalen Goodman, the communications major, whose dad is John Goodman. Not that John Goodman, I don't believe. Takes the snap. Oh, and a flea flicker. That takes a long time to develop. When we talked about trick plays, that nearly worked. There's a penalty flag.
Yeah, I think you're going to get holding. I saw a lot of orange jersey being stretched out there at the hands of one of the Muskies. Nice coverage downfield. Nick Thomas, the freshman defensive back.
We also had Peyton Wilson, though. I think he might get tagged for hitting the quarterback. It's kind of one of those, depending on who you believe. Northern's bringing on some bigger guys. Connor Rowe into the defensive lineup. Referees are still having a conversation. What they're actually talking about is, hey, you know they have a nice theater here in Ada. Have you seen Black Adam yet?
Absolutely. What's maybe a little date night after the ball game? Get in town.
John and Tony's, and then hit the movies.
That's right. Head to Japolano's Jalapenos,
they can
right?
check out the nightlife here in Ada. It is going to be against the defense. So that's
a tough one. Yeah, where that flag's laying is over there by where the quarterback. Oh, and how nice the quarterback there. Mr. Garrett will hand that to the official. Thank you, sir.
Oh, yeah,
so
he's
the Muskies in business here.
Last year, Jordan Garrett threw for a school record, 2,300 yards and 20 touchdowns, but it was the fact that he shredded Capital in November. Hit him for 41 of 58, 482, and 7 touchdowns. Those are all school records.
Well, last week against Baldwin Wallace in a loss.
And off to Donnie Wilkinson again. He's not flashy. He just gets you from here
just
to there.
Strong, yeah. Gets his pads down and strong, straight ahead guy. Gain of about 5. I was saying last week against Baldwin Wallace, Garrett connected with Zuri Edmondson. You mentioned him earlier. 90-yard touchdown pass was a school record. And Edmondson finished with 203 yards on 6 catches and 2 touchdowns. So big day for number
Wilkinson, you see there in the replay. He got to the end of the play and tried to jump over a couple of gentlemen who quickly said, I don't think so. Second down now at about 5. So handoff to Wilkinson is going to be tripped up. Good defensive pressure by Ohio Northern is not getting through the line. One of the linebackers was able to come up and make that play.
I believe that was Tyler Irigoyen. 51 had first contact, the nose tackle, and then you're right, the linebacker came in and just cleaned that up. There's a good look at the Polar Bear defense. Love those matte black helmets, but I don't know if I'd want to wear those in August.
Does not look like a group that I want to come across. You're going out of Flagler High School, Flagler Palm Coast High School in Palm, Florida. It's now 4 receivers out of that pistol set. It's working. Garrett drops back, took the pressure, now scrambles out to his right, slides near the 5. I'll get him at the 6, but he got enough for a first down from Muskingum as he picks up 9.
So the Muskies kind of playing sort of the judo game, the pressure coming up front from the down linemen and the ends, and Garrett's just riding that initial wave and then scampering forward. You kind of using that against them. Picked up a big first down, 1st and goal, Muskingum.
Smart move to get away from Dalton Jong.
Yeah.
Jordan Garrett out of Pike High School in Indianapolis, Indiana, that produced Jeff and Marcus Teague, NBA players. Here's a handoff to Wilkinson. Spin move. And he gets down to the 2. Hit that circle button.
That's right. Nice spin move there. Connor Rowe, Manoa High School.
Still no answers about the potato festival.
I think it's got to be a jacket potato. This time of year, nice baked potato, warm in your hand, little sour cream running down your arm.
I don't do sour cream, but I just need butter for my baked potato.
Maybe a little melty cheddar. Ooh, I formation. Looks like power time, Michael.
Noah Wellmeyer, the fullback, in for the first time as he shuttles to his right. Pitch play. And Wilkinson able to skirt around the outside. Did he get to the end zone? No. But he did the smartest thing you can do to gain a yard. Reached that ball out trying to get to the pylon.
Dalton Jong got a good angle and forced him wide, and it looked for a minute like he was going to catch the corner. And I thought he did a really nice job. Northern had it stopped at the point of attack, and Wilkinson bounced outside, but Jong said, not this play. Going to have to do it again.
Jordan Garrett's not a big runner, especially at the goal line. He's got just one touchdown on the year, but he's got two terrific backs now in kind of that offset pistol formation. So I believe that's Wellmeyer now behind him. He'll take it himself. How about that? Into the end zone for his second score. And untouched, that's not what Northern wants.
No, absolutely not. Big guys up front kind of steamrolling there, making holes, and kind of made a liar out of you there. Just the minute you said he's not going to run the ball down at the goal line, they call a design run, and he follows his running back and into the hole and into the end zone.
Puts the first 6 on the John and Tony scoreboard at 7:29. Extra point coming from one of 3 different kickers. It'll be Aaron Myers. A freshman boots it up and across the flag next door where they're barbecuing. And the first score is Muskingum on the John and Tony scoreboard. Back in just a second here on NKTelco Sports.
Whatever Cards and Games in Ada is your locally owned, family-friendly business for all your gaming needs. We carry a wide range of collectible card games, board games, family games, role-playing games, educational games for all ages, and more. Stop in today for your much-needed expansion packs and war miniatures. We are an official tournament store for Yu-Gi-Oh!, Magic the Gathering, and Cardfight Vanguard. Expect an enjoyable time at Whatever Cards and Games, where there's fun for everyone.
11 plays, 67 yards for Muskingum as they pick up 3 first downs on the way and end with a Jordan Garrett touchdown run. He's a second of the year. Threw for 361 and a touchdown last year against Northern. Continues his wizardry. I use wizardry, by the way, because it seemed to fit Whatever Cards and Games. Northern didn't get to return the last one. I don't believe they're going to get to return this one. Oh, they will choose. Thought maybe they're going to take the free 20 yards as the return man in LJ Payton, his 10th return of the year, puts Ohio Northern out at the 21-yard line. I believe you're probably going to see a steady dose of Austin Ike. You'll see him in the slot. Nick Tangeman, the big receiver from Marion Local, just 3 catches but a touchdown to his left. And then LJ Payton down here on the near side. Tight end in Miller, Coldwater product, come left side. Pitch play, kind of a delayed pitch for Brock Martin, and there's not a lot of room for him to work as he might get the benefit of picking up a yard. But credit Sean Andor, the senior defensive tackle out of Hope Mills, North Carolina. You'll see it here and the replay as the ball gets stretched out. He just sort of shut it down.
Yeah, the big white 99 middle of your screen, just right down the line of scrimmage, then looking at the backfield. Easy play for him. I'll tell you, he's got good mobility, 6 foot 250. That's an athletic play. He came to the far left side there. Just seeing his...
Devin Roebuck with another tackle as well as Martin fake to him, thrown out to Tangeman, nowhere for him to go. Nick's going to lose a couple of yards. That's, they might give him a yard on the loss. That is a favorable spot and not something he's used to. So they are trying to get something going offensively. Take it on the number 9 rushing defense in the league and trying to figure out that Rubik's Cube. I can't get those Rubik's Cubes. I always get one color that's wrong. Pull them off and tape the right color on there. Figueroa facing a heavy blitz, bails out to his left, back to the 5, fires it downfield, looking for Ike, but it's picked off. And the defensive unit, the safety in Cole Birch, his second interception of the year. It was Austin Ike. And that's a hard play, too, because on third down, you want to make that kind of play for your team, but might have been better served to throw this one away. That might be the freshman quarterback thing in him.
Yep. We see the pressure come up the middle. And then, yeah, Tangeman just able to come down with it, and just a great job of getting that tip is the safety Cole Birch. Nice play there.
Handoff again into Wilkinson. He'll fight left, comes back right side, cannot get away from the secondary, but a terrific gain of 5 yards as he continues to fight.
Well, I'm impressed with Wilkinson. He's strong like a bull. Had a couple of guys on his back, carried him over right side for 5 yards. So ONU up against it early here.
And this has been the problem for Northern this year, is getting their defense off the field and keeping them off the field. Pistol set again on second down and 5 from the 15. Delayed handoff to Wilkinson, and he's throwing the shoulders out there as he picks up 4 of the 5 he needs for the first down.
He has come to play, and he's not on the depth chart as a first teamer on the offense, but a second teamer. And so you got to figure, Michael, he's excited to have his opportunity today, and he is absolutely making the most of that. It took 2, maybe 3 polar bears to get him down in the second level of that Orange defense.
He actually has the highest carries, though, which is the oddity. 68 carries, 213 yards, and a pair of scores coming in. Now fake the high snap, and it was the second man through.
I think that was Justin Bell. I looked for the high ball. I don't know about you, but my head turned on that. That was a great job of selling the fake there by Jordan Garrett.
All I thought was, man, that quarterback can jump high.
Yeah, and we do have a flag. Let's see what the situation is. Really no gain on the play.
That'll be against Muskingum.
That sounds like a big cowbell.
So this will change too, because now you're, instead of being third and about a yard, you're kind of in what do we do here territory.
Yeah, it definitely limits your choices when you're deciding what you want to run as far as an offensive play, as well as Wilkinson's been doing. You'd figure they would give it to him on that short yardage, but now they're going to have to dial something up.
Really would not be surprised to see a reverse pass here, because Trevante Kite, he threw 2 touchdowns last week, and he's a receiver as you see him in motion. High snap, see if it comes to him. Oh, little stop route. Came back on the inside and overthrown. Kite was wide open on the back, but Garrett tried to get to Travis Robertson on that backside throw, and you'll see he's still wide open.
ONU's fortunate right there that Garrett was unable to complete that pass, because number 4 was open from before the snap, and he may in fact still be open, Michael, but just unable to connect. And so we're going to get our first field goal attempt.
A 34 from the right hash for Aaron Myers. His long is only 20 this year. He's 1 of 3 from the right hash. Snap down, kick is blocked, and it came right back to his face. Scoop by Northern, and that is Miles Aldrich.
There's
Shawnee Indian with a scoop.
Get things going there. Number 39 thought maybe a scoop and score for the Lima Shawnee standout. Gets on that one, and ONU in business, 1st and 10 at the 40. So nice turnaround there. Boy, if ONU can put a drive together, not only do they block the field goal and prevent the 3 points, now it's time to go down and score.
John and Tony's scoreboard with Northern down 7-0. That's the second block kick this year for Aldrich. 1st and 10 for the Bears. Can they flip the momentum? Find out here in a second. Aiden Train, Freddie Burchett, Zach George, Lance Good, and Cordell Wyatt left to right on the offensive line. One of those is a change, I'll tell you in a second. Handoff, fake to Martin. Deep throw down the right side, and it is off the back shoulder of the defensive back, looking to hook up with big man Jordan Dean.
Boy, a pretty pass, though. Figueroa can get some air under it. It was just a little short, went off the defensive back. But Dean had about a half a step. If he could have got that out in front of him, that would have been a dynamite.
Oh, and you -8 in the plus-minus category, by the way. We talked about their turnovers early on. They're -9 now. Lance Good, the new right tackle out of Hardin Northern, getting his first start, taking over for Aiden Thompson. See a handoff to Martin and a high tackle. Nowhere to go. Sean Andor again. He hit it with every bit of Carnes High School.
That is a strong young man because he grabbed that back. He grabbed the runner.
It's Brock Martin again. You'll see it here
by the
on
shoulders.
Replay.
Yeah, watch how high he goes in here. And normally you don't recommend that, but boy, that 99 Andor, that's strength. And then a little cleanup help.
It's country boy strength, I think, is how that goes.
Grain fed.
Martin now with the Zeke Elliott jersey, not of his own doing. 3rd down and 14. Shotgun set, just Martin. Quick little screen and a dump to the outside. He'll get to the 45.
Garrett Gurney comes over, the freshman linebacker out of Seminole, Florida. Makes the play, 4th down.
And it's a shame for Northern, too, that drive is going to come to a stop.
Yeah, you get great field position off of a big momentum swing there, a blocked field goal by the freshman.
I haven't even gotten to talk about how Josh Beaver is one of 2 young men for Ohio Northern that is making his school record 41st start. Dom DeFalco was the other, the kicker.
A couple of 5-year starters taking advantage of that COVID, kind of that freebie year of eligibility, NCAA.
I'm sorry, it's Brock Martin, not Josh Beaver. He's trying to break the school sack record. 2:49 left in the first quarter. And Muskingum has gotten some things to go their way. That last drive, though, starting in plus position, didn't come away with anything.
No, in fact, off that turnover, they were down, I don't see exactly where that drive started. It was down near the 30 of ONU. And great job by the Polar Bear defense holding them to a field goal and then blocking it. But they're going to have to make something happen. And that's been the kind of the MO of this team this year, Michael, is ONU has lived more off of their defense than they have off of their offense. And so far, that's been the trend this afternoon.
See Ohio Northern supporters selling out for their defense. Garrett on a strike inside. Will get a 12-yard gain as he hit the inside receiver in Jalen Goodman. A lot of people might not know this, but Goodman comes from a high school at Marion Franklin in Columbus that produced a wide receiver named Mike Tatum.
Wow.
And I got to see Mike Tatum in person. He played, there's a semi-pro team in Columbus. As a second attempted hookup is incomplete. Then he played for a team called the Columbus Fire, and they were a perennial D1 caliber semi-pro team. But he also played in Sioux Falls, Iowa, and won 4 indoor league national titles. So that's a pretty good lineage for Goodman.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's a good hookup as well. Goodman now set as Trevante Kite in motion. Looking, thrown right to Trevante, and he dropped it.
Boy,
tried to get rid of the defensive back for a split second, and it just couldn't turn inside. He couldn't get rid of A.J. D'Souza.
Nice little turnaround kind of coming out of his break. The ball's right there. Here you see on the replay. Looking left. Yeah, just unable to hang on to it, excuse me. So 3rd and 10 now for the Muskies.
Again, Jordan Garrett out of Indianapolis, Indiana, the all-state baseball player in high school. Went 0-10 his junior year in high school. Nearly quit. Ended up working out, though, as he throws deep down the field and across midfield for a first down. And that's Trevante Kite, who I just talked about out of Deerfield Beach High School.
Yeah, we got a flag down here. It's getting a little chippy. I noticed a little dust up after the punt. We'll see what we got here. Let's see if this play stands. Nice pitch and catch there to Kite. 14 yards.
And kind of similar to what Mount Union did, to what John Carroll did. Receivers are finding a hole in ONU's defensive zone and just sitting.
Yep. And this is the 3rd ranked pass defense in the conference with the Polar Bears, giving up 196 yards a game. But so far, Garrett having some success on this 3rd drive.
Something happened with Kadarius Woodfork because one of his teammates, I think it was Josh Beaver, walked him out.
Yeah.
And he walked to the sideline very unhappy. So let's see what the actual call is. Unsportsmanlike conduct against the offense after the penalty. Josiah Lejeune, the center. So it was Woodfork. It was the two of them got hooked up.
And these will offset number 5, Jalen, wrong number 5. Jalen Goodman. Now that number
play
can't
ends
be right.
up
He's an
standing.
offensive player.
As they move the football to the 48 on the other side.
So the play will stand. Basically, it's the first down completion after the offsetting penalties.
It's kind of what did you do? Who got caught on the second part of it?
Yeah.
1st and 10 now. And a ball that was bobbled and somehow picked up. Do you think Garrett fell on that ball, or he sort of tried to center himself and sort of ended up just losing his balance?
And it rolled, yeah. Yeah, it looked like he was going to try to palm it and stay on his feet, but wisdom or balance prevailed, and probably a good thing he fell on it because there were orange shirts coming in hot.
Something about Newton and his laws.
Gravity or something?
Him and gravity, yeah. So the ball spotted at the 45 on 2nd down and 16 for Muskingum.
Can't get over this weather today. What a beautiful day for college football.
Eric Leiter, the head coach for Muskingum, has got a just amazing pass. Speaking of, how about the catch? How do you keep that with that hit?
Alive. He got trucked right there. Number 9 going up the ladder for Muskingum.
Edmondson, watch this. Watch the strike that's thrown to him, and then that he's able to hold on to it as he is pretty much just wiped out by the corner in Terrion Ross, who's wearing a different numeral on his back today. Gain of 5. Usually wears 31. We were informed right before the game he's wearing 8, and that's a big thing for Northern because Trevon Salter normally wears 8, the middle linebacker, and he's not playing today.
Yeah, that's a tough loss, but boy, nice replacement you see there.
3rd down and 11. Garrett steps up in the pocket, plenty of time to throw. Bootlegs out to his right, fires one deep down the field, and I see an official's hat. I don't know what happened on that play, but it ends up being incomplete. So 4th down.
Must have come out of bounds. That's why the hat goes down, as you mark that a man came out of bounds, and he can't be the first guy to come in and touch it. All for nothing, really, as we're going to get a first look at the punt team for the Muskies.
But Eric Loiter is 16-23 in his 5th year. The head coach at Muskingum was the quarterback coach at the University of Florida in 2017. Won a national title at Grand Valley State. Oh my goodness, what a punt. The CFL, will it bounce? That might have still been in, but the punter, let's just say he discount double checked to his teammates.
He hammered that, but unfortunately in that situation, Michael, you didn't need a hammer. You needed a little bit more of just maybe a pair of tongs, and you set the ball down inside the 20.
Wedge.
A pitching wedge, yeah. His short game is a little suspect there.
John and Tony's scoreboard has got a 7-0 Muskingum lead. That came on their first possession. They went 11 plays, 67 yards, and their quarterback ran in from a yard out. This might be the final play of the first quarter. So Northern will be on the road the next 2 weeks after having 3 straight home games, the 3rd of which was homecoming. So we've got one more game in the month of November here in Ada. Hand off to Jameer Nunley. Nunley got tripped up as he went left side. The running back out of Cleveland for a quick gain of 3.
I'm impressed with the side-to-side athleticism here of the Muskies defense. Keeping everything in front of them, reacting well to what they're seeing. You're seeing some holes at the line of scrimmage, a point of attack. But the Muskies reacting well and keeping everything in front of them.
That'll do it for quarter number 1. John and Tony's scoreboard has got Ohio Northern trailing at 7-0. Set for quarter number 2 to come back here on NKTelco Sports.
Seasons Drive-Thru, we offer weekly specials that are sure to satisfy all appetites. Monday through Thursday, come in to enjoy our daily lunch specials. Friday is our Get It Till It's Gone fish special. Friday and Saturday, grab a 16-inch 3-item pizza, 10 wings, and a 2-liter for just $20. Sunday, we also have a 3-piece chicken for $5 and a 16-piece for $20. Four Seasons Drive-Thru, great drinks, great food, wonderful service, and amazing prices.
There you see the band. It's the alumni band here on homecoming weekend and a beautiful day in Ada, Ohio. They're playing Tell Me Why. I want it that way. Tried to get Scott maybe to sing some, but he won't come on and do it.
We probably don't need to do that.
It's kind of a party pooper that way. All the folks watching online would probably just tune out and ask for a refund.
So total yards in that first quarter, big in favor of the Muskies, 86-13. As ONU back at it.
Nunley, the running back, little dance to his right. Got a gain of about a yard. This is a precarious situation, though, right now for Northern. You start quarter number 2, and this is similar to last week against John Carroll. Down 17-7 right before the half, going the same way that they're going right now. They had a big drive and a drop touchdown that sort of changed the momentum of what that game could have been.
That's tough. Yeah, especially if you catch that, that's 17-14. That's a whole different ball game.
Northern, the band's just said, we're getting the whole song in. We came to Ada for that. We're getting the whole song. Looking to throw Figueroa. He's got a man in Jordan Dean who is, if I said he was in blanket, there's the penalty flag. In blanket coverage. He was in straitjacket coverage.
Yes, he was. He was nicely encapsulated. And I'll tell you, interesting, they've changed the look here. The Polar Bears have. Instead of running that tight end set behind the O-line, they're kind of spreading this defense out, and they ran out of that set the last drive or play. Here they choose to throw out of it. They may be the benefactors of some additional extra contact in the defensive backfield.
This will be Ohio Northern's first down of the ball game, and it comes via penalty.
Hey, at this point, we'll take it. Yeah, let's go on and keep her moving.
Well, here's the weird thing. The official from the back where he threw it, they had to come up and make sure that everybody knew where it was. But Ohio Northern trailing 7-0. You see there on the John and Tony scoreboard. An offense averaging 13.7 points per game. That was big for them because they only pick up about 26% of their third downs. Figueroa out of Florida stands in the shotgun. Brings Nick Tangeman in motion to the slot. Tangeman, big-bodied receiver, is open across the middle, but looking for Jordan Dean, and he overthrew him.
Tell you, there's a little wind out of the south. They're headed north, and that wind got under the ball. He had Dean open by a step or two. You saw the defensive back over there for the Muskies stumble toward the end of that route when the ball was in the air, and man, if Figueroa could have connected there, that would have been to the house.
Well, when we started this game, the wind was northeast at 14 miles an hour and 70 degrees. But as we've learned, the wind in Ada on the tundra, the temperature is generally made up, as are anything to do with the weather conditions. I've been around Ada long enough to know that. Figueroa stands in the shotgun. One man up to his left, that'll be Nudley, and he is flushed out immediately.
Nice penetration back there, number 5 for the Muskies.
No gain on the play.
Was. Nope.
Austin Wilford.
Number 6. That was close. Wilford coming up from his linebacking position.
Out of Champion High School in Warren, Ohio.
Almost like he was back there to get the handoff, Michael. That play had no hope. Somebody missed a blocking assignment up front.
Jordan Dean will flip sides of the field with Jet Morgan. Jet spelled J-E-T-T-E, by the way. Jette.
That's the French pronunciation,
right.
Jette.
Left for Figueroa. Stands in the shotgun, fires deep across the middle and caught by Austin Ike for the first down. First time Northern's been able to hook up with him, and they get to the 48, gain of 15. See the replay, watch him just release and take off.
When Figueroa does a nice job of standing in there, hits him in stride. And a big first down there for the Polar Bears. But I'll tell you what, speaking of number 6, Austin Wilforth, the sophomore, was coming. He had lunch pail in hand, And he almost got there. The freshman quarterback did a nice job of standing in, knowing that he was coming from the right.
Davey Berner, the tight end out of Tecumseh High School, in for the first time for the Bears. As they move the football. Watch Figueroa. Zone read option. Now into a screen. Jack DeMario. DeMario looking super as he gets across the 35 for a first down. Another gain of 15. So, Scott, the last 3 plays for Northern, penalty, first down, have all been 15 yards.
Absolutely. And Figueroa did a beautiful job of reading the defense. He could have very easily handed that one off, let it go up the middle there with Brock Martin, which it looked like the defense was expecting. But credit Tangeman blocking downfield, the Flyer graduate, springing his receiver behind him, DeMario, for a big gain.
Figueroa in that offset pistol formation to Brock Martin. Handoff left side. Best run for Martin so far as he comes forward for 4 yards.
Well, and you could just feel the energy starting to shift a little bit here, a little bit more zip in the step of the Polar Bears as they see that, hey, we belong on this field with these guys. We can pick up first downs just like they do. And a nice carry on first down. Go ahead.
Just 2.8 yards per carry this year, but he's 11th all-time in rushing yards at Northern, over 2,100 yards. 7th all-time in carries, over 500, and number 10 in all-purpose yards. It's a kid that can get it done this part of the season last year. Now in the shotgun wearing sleeves on second down. Handoff to him, and he tried to get away. Whoever the guy in front of him is, went low. It's Garrett Gurney, out of Seminole High School in Florida. Just said, nope, nothing for you. You lose a yard.
Yeah, that number 49 got in there in a hurry. I would have thought maybe Martin would consider bouncing that to the right because the whole right side of the field was available. But he got over there in traffic, and there was nothing. So 3rd down and 7 now for the Polar Bears.
Tangeman left, or to the right, rather. Ike and Dean to the left side with Martin in the backfield. A little delayed fake to him on a play action. Figueroa's going to try to run for the first down, but he gave himself up a yard before. Did not want to take on anybody in front. I got to believe Northern is going to go for it, and they need it here. But here, watch this replay, and you'll see Figueroa give himself up. My thing is always, as they go fast, how do you pick up a yard if you're a spread offense?
Right.
You're about to find out. Stacked up the middle is Muskingum.
In the shotgun.
Tangeman in motion, handoff Brock Martin, and I don't think he got it.
You got tripped up 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Good penetration that time. Looks like number 25 as they peel him up off the carpet. Jamar Hicks in there for the initial contact. And you're right, Michael, eagle eye from above, short of that first down.
So a turnover on downs for Northern. And we talked about this last week, Dave and I did. That's one of the hardest things to do. It was specifically last week about a shotgun timing open offense of picking up short yardage. But when you're used to starting your back 3, 4, 5 yards behind, he's now got to pick up 6 to get 1.
Right. Yep. That does just increase the odds of difficulty there.
Muskingum on top of the John and Tony scoreboard. 7-0. Jameer Hicks is going to gain 2 yards, but he's really fighting for those 2 yards.
That was a nice job stacking up the line of scrimmage there by the Polar Bear defense. And you're right, 2 yards on the play. That last drive, the best one of the day for the Polar Bears. 3 plays. Whoops, my bad. I'm on the wrong thing here.
Robertson out wide left, trip set for Muskingum. Nobody in the backfield. Cheese stands alone and all that. Quarterback keeper on the draw, right back up the middle with a lot of room.
Very close
and
to
that should be enough for the first down.
I was going to say that last drive by Ohio Northern, I was looking at the my tablet wrong there. 5 minutes off the clock, 54 yards, 10 plays, 3 big first down pass plays. They did get their first down at the hands of the pass interference call, but it was a pretty good drive. Kind of a shame they come up short there.
It's a slot receiver in Goodman. Now out of this pistol set. Handoff is met. We talked about Muskingum meeting it on the other side. This time around, the orange shirts closed quickly, and it was Nickel Johnson. You'll see him He's got 99 career tackles coming into this game. 21 of them for tackles for loss.
That's a pretty nice
that's
ratio.
122.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. And he, I believe, is one of the 5-year club. No, he's not, but he is a senior.
Out of College Park, Georgia.
Nice play there, lined up at the right end.
Second down and 11 for Muskingum. Everything running out to the left, little swing pass. Not able to get very much. The initial, it was, can the guy beat you to a spot against one of the corners?
Terrion Ross doing a nice job of coming in and run support to help chip the ball carrier out of bounds. He made the first guy miss. Could have been a tackle for a loss there.
Do notice, though, is Muskingum, as they lead 7-0 with 8 minutes to go here in the first half, are staying away from the right side and staying away from Ed Manning. It's a pretty good choice. Defense jump, penalty flag flies, free play. Throw across the middle. Speaking of a free, just running free through the secondary is the receiver for Muskingum in Zuri Edmondson. 21 yards on the pickup, and watch this. He'll be top part of your screen. He'll just come in a flash right about here.
That's just man-on-man speed right there, and that slant is so tough to defend. And you saw when you rolling over. Yeah, that's your offsides. Rolling over that extra defender, but it was too late, too much, too little, too late.
Hey, he might be able to play the flash. It'll go better than that guy who's going to ruin all those movies. I'm sorry, than they that will ruin all the movies and Ezra Miller. So now 4-by-1 set again. Garrett looking to throw. Little swing pass. If it works, keep on keeping on. Gain of 3 on the play.
Check that one down. Gain of 3. Boy, we had a deep Muskie that Garrett never saw. Number 9, Zuri Edmondson, was streaking all by himself down there by the 10-yard line.
Marcus Paul, the big tight end out of Circleville, into the ball game. 6 foot 220. I don't believe either one of those is high enough. 7 minutes to go in the first half on the John and Tony scoreboard with Muskingum. Pretty rude visitors. And another swing pass out to the left side. And a tackle made by Terrion Ross out of Findlay.
Nice hands by Wellmeyer. A couple of passes in a row there for the freshman. So Muskingum now with a little offensive rhythm throwing the ball. Definitely had much more success through the air.
Tyler Irigoyen back in for Northern. So under center for the first time now goes Jordan Garrett. 2 backs behind, pitch play and a fumble. Falling down on top of it is Wellmeyer.
Might be the last time we see Garrett under center there, Michael. As a little muffed on the toss.
Right into his hands, just hit him in the hands.
Yep, of all the places.
Worst place you can hit a guy.
74 yards through the air now for the Muskies. I look for them to continue to make that happen here. 4th down now, so if ONU can get off the field on defense, 6:02 to go in running on the John and Tony scoreboard. Plenty of time to get one in the end zone.
Pistol set. Now straight drop for Garrett. Fires high and caught at the 30. Not where I thought that ball was going. I'll be honest with you. Robertson sort of came in, or rather Trevante Kite came and pilfered it. He got enough for the first down.
That's a great job right there of knowing where the sticks are by Kite. Just running your route about a yard past the sticks, and that's exactly where he came down. You'll see on the replay here. See Kite flash in the bottom of the screen. There he is, just beyond the 30, which was the line to gain.
Edmondson was behind him, who I thought that ball was initially targeted for. Pistol set here with a back behind and off to the right. Handoff this time will be Donnie Wilkinson for the first time in a while. He's going to lose a yard.
Boy, nice penetration there by Ed Manning, the junior defensive back. Coming up on run defense, maybe a little run blitz there. Loss of a yard.
There is a massive individual, Brian Maxwell, out of Mandarin High School. There are a handful of kids for Muskingum who come from the same high schools. I think it's Bring Your Buddy to Ohio.
Right.
But he's listed at 6'1", 255 on the right side.
I saw that. I was just looking at that. I think there's a number missing there. It might be a 3 instead of a 2. He's a big boy.
Three receivers with two in the slot. Garrett looks on the backside. He's got a man wide open with the defensive back, not even able to see it. And Trevante Kent with his second touchdown of the year. That is a catch and go and a beautiful play call for the Muskies to take a 13-0 lead.
That was a beautiful pass, nice touch pass, as you'll see here on the replay. You're going to see right down the top hash. Receivers cross, ball's in the air, and it looked like the defensive backs might have gotten just a little bit tangled up there. It was just enough space for Kite to backpedal, make the catch, and spin, and he's in the end zone. So beautiful touch on the ball by Garrett.
Snap up, and the kick is good. 14-0. And extracurricular activity. I don't know what the history is. I mean, last year was a big game in that there was a field goal that decided it with 27 seconds to go. But there are quite a few folks who do not like one another.
Apparently somebody's in a bit of a mood. Yeah. And it is homecoming, so you'd expect the Polar Bears to want to hold serve here at the Dial. But so far, it's been all Muskies. 160 total yards to 55, average 5 yards a play for the Muskingum offense. Over the century mark now with that 29-yard touchdown pass, 111 yards through the air. And Garrett is 10 of 15 throwing the ball. So very nice first half here.
Offsetting penalties there. 14-0. Muskingum with the lead on the John and Tony scoreboard here on NKTelco Sports.
Nareda Lanes in Ada offers men's league bowls on Mondays and Wednesday evenings, women's league bowls on Thursday evenings, couples bowls on Friday evenings, kids bowl on Saturday mornings from December through March, Scotch mixed double bowls on the last Saturday of every month, open bowling on Saturday evening, Saturday afternoon reserve the bowling alley for children's birthday parties, and on Sunday, lanes are available to reserve for birthdays of any age as well as for group events. Check out NaredaLanes.com for more info.
So the kickoff coming from the 20-yard line this time around for Muskingum. They were bad and hit with a penalty. See kind of what happens here. Colin Scasafava, the Citrus High School junior, who's actually the punter normally, but he's got the Thor hair working, I saw, down there behind the helmet near the mid-back. He's ready to get this one going. Scott, this is something big. After that 11-play, 74-yard drive and a touchdown for Muskingum, Northern needs to do something here just before the half. Maybe let that go out of bounds. So kicking from the 20 plus the penalty on the ball out of bounds.
Well, that sets up the Polar Bears here. Really need to get something going on offense. That last drive of theirs was pretty solid. They went 10 plays, 54 yards, but unable to convert. And so let's see what they dial up now. They had some success spreading the offensive line out. The first couple of series they came in kind of a between the tackles look and had very little, well, let's just call it what it is, no success in that. But once they spread that defense out a little bit, they found some room.
Northern's going to go out to midfield. Don't forget, NKTelco Sports and its sponsors are pleased to bring you replays of tonight's college football game on NKTelco Channel 3 or in HD on 503. It'll be Thursday, November the 10th at 5 p.m. or Sunday the 13th at 4 p.m. You can also watch more games on demand if you need more Scott Fry in your life through YouTube, Facebook, and at nktelco.com/sports.
Somewhere, Mrs. Fry's shaking her head going, no, you don't want that.
Said he just yells at me in the kitchen. I'm tired of hearing him. Mrs. Hearn is doing the same thing. Ball at midfield, best field position for Northern to start a drive. Swing pass coming to Brock Martin, and he has got room as he just took on the corner, waiting for him at the end of that.
That'll get the orange and black fired up on the home side of the stands as Martin takes on that defender instead of dashing out of bounds. Number 15 for the Muskies, Nick Thomas. Good tackle there, but not until we got a Polar Bear first down. Good play, a little swing pass.
One of the longest plays for Northern. They had those 3 15-yard plays. One of them a penalty, 2 pass plays. Ike in the slot on the right side. He's got a lot of room to work over there. It's the Bears in Muskie territory. Figueroa drops back, looking. Plenty of time and a deep ball down the left side. Caught into the end zone for a 40-yard score. How about that?
Beautiful play, kind of a wheel route. Gets downfield behind the defensive back. I think, was that 3 or 8?
Northern with the tie, or with the trying to get right is what I was looking for. But
yeah, Dean was lined up in the backfield.
Figueroa up and out from the left side, and just behind 2 defensive backs. Nate Dean out of VASJ with the TD.
Tell you, Figueroa did a great job. You could see his head scan the defense right to left, going through his progressions. And that wheel route was the last thing he saw. And Dean, you could just tell, was going to run right by the defender. And he did. Figueroa hits him in stride. And a big play and a big bit of momentum for this Polar Bear offense as they pound one in. Or, well, should I say they lay one in. 2-play, 50-yard drive. Time of possession under a minute, just like that. We got ourselves a ball game, as they say.
Figueroa with his 3rd touchdown pass of the season, as we'll stay here during this just before the halftime break. But how about that? 2 plays. And the University High School product out of Orange City, Florida. Hook it up with Nate Dean. What a beautiful drive for Northern.
That was a great play. I mean, he got like he was shot out of a cannon, Mike.
And he was not in. I believe that was the first play of the game for him, because I had not seen him in the ball game before that.
I love how Figueroa read, and just you could see his head turn left. And when he saw the difference in speed, was Dean was approaching that defensive back, and Figueroa just laid that ball out there where Dean would be. And what a nice hookup! And Dean did the rest, hit that passing gear, and that was that.
Murraysville PA's Dom DeFalco, a 5th-year senior, with the big boot. That is headed to the end zone, and he tried to make it through the uprights.
Well, you got the benefit of the wind a little bit behind you. I tell you, these 2 special teams units are wound up, Michael. You see, I feel like we're just on the edge of some kind of fracas breaking out here every time the special teams clubs come out.
Well, and remember, it was a lot of talk by Dean Paul about his special teams unit. He's got a high affinity for them of eliminating big plays and making big plays for Northern. I don't think that a heavyweight prize fight is what he was talking about.
That's not what I had on my bingo card today. Tell you the stat that's jumping out at me right now for the Muskies: 63% on 3rd down, 5 of 8. Big key to why they still got a 1-touchdown score, as you see Donnie Wilkinson this time with a little bit of shuck and jive, picks up 6 off the inside handoff.
Come on, little Daddy Wilkinson. So you get another look at exactly the dance that the guy next to me is talking about.
Nice
He's
run.
been a big threat in the passing game normally, but he's able to pick up a handful of yards. Looking to throw now, deep down the sideline with the man and across. This group of receivers, if you're Jordan Garrett, you can out-throw them. You are throwing one heck of a deep ball.
Sure are. That one is on a bit of a rope into the wind even. But you saw there what was impressive to me. Zuri Edmondson, right around midfield, was, right there with that defensive back. And I can't see the number on that young man for the Polar Bears, but once that ball was in the air, Edmondson had another gear, and he got separation, 2-3 yard separation once that ball got in the air and almost got under it. That was impressive.
It's Austin Colon, the sophomore, on the outside.
Yeah, he's got his hands full of Edmondson.
He's rocking the Booby Miles Terminator towel too, by the way. So throw across the middle on a little comeback route to Travis Robertson. He got the 1st down into Northern territory.
There's an example again of the Muskies finding a soft spot in the Polar Bears defense, taking what the defense will give you.
Watch this.
And the defense just gave him a big play.
22-yard gain on this play. And we just keep talking about it, sitting down in the middle of that zone.
Nice possession type receiver, kind of a slot guy. Roberson reminds you of a Cole Beasley.
Don't bring that up. Not as a Cowboys fan, we can't talk about Beasley. Wilkinson
Well, as a Bills
with the,
fan, we sure
carry.
can.
Gain
He
of
was
3 on the
good
play.
for us in Buffalo.
It's one of those guys that Jerry Jones decided was expendable. Looks great on other teams' rosters.
He got picked up by the Buccaneers for one game and retired. I think he got back in the groove and said, you know what? I was enjoying that couch. This is just a little much.
Well, just wait till Gronk comes back.
Yeah.
For
I mean,
the
you know
fifth
it's coming,
time.
right?
Gronk is like Terry Funk or Ric Flair in pro wrestling. Like, he retires and then just no retirement actually sticks.
That's right.
2:06 in the
Brett
second
Favre.
on the John and Tony scoreboard. And there's a throw again. That bounces off the turf and incomplete.
Love that play, though, because there's plenty of defense over there, but he's throwing to a window that they must know is going to be there. It was a little bit low, so they weren't able to complete it. But you could see as Kite came out of his break, that ball was there. I bet they go back to that again. That was open.
Jordan Garrett, 105 of 170, 1,200 yards, 13 touchdowns, 5 picks, and a 90-yard touchdown to Zuri Edmondson last week. Longest in school history against Baldwin Wallace. Looks to throw, comes right side, screen back to his left, and incomplete. It's Austin Cologne. Gets a little, how do you do, Mr. Wilkinson?
Yeah, Donnie turns around. There's a football behind him. Tried to make an athletic play, but unable to do so. And so we are going to see Colin Skazafava, been dying to say that all day, into the game to punt for Muskingum.
He had 9 punts against Mount Union. He had 7 punts last week. Outside of that, he's only got 2 or 3 a game.
Well, Mount Union and John Carroll, the class of the
They're
conference, pretty darn good, Division III.
A high kick that'll be called for a fair catch by Austin Ike. It takes a bounce, and the world's going the wrong way.
Yeah, that's.
Oh, and there's a scrum on the other side.
With the punter. I don't think you want to mess with the punter, do you?
It was the blocker.
Oh, it was the blocker.
punter.
Yeah, it was the blocker. Yep.
And
I
he
thought
might
for a
be
minute
worse
that
for
was
wear.
Skazafava.
I don't
still-
know what happened, but
Still chirping. I'll be back, he says.
is it fight night?
I tell you, these two teams apparently not big fans of one another.
All right.
And
Didn't
you know, it's
realize
only
they-
been on the special teams side. Well, no, we did have that offsetting center versus linebacker situation early in the first period, but seems like every time the special teams engage, there's
Guess
sparks.
I didn't realize UFC was in town. UFC Ada.
Right, yeah. A big lumberjack
Shotgun
match
set,
up
just
at
one.
whatever Cards and Games later.
Yeah, right. Hand off to Brock Martin. Martin got a block in the back from one of his linemen, but made it work as he scurries his way across the 35.
Boy, once he saw the blocking set up, very patient as he floated out there to his right, put his foot in the ground, headed upfield, had another gear. Nice first down run there.
see
Out
it
in the
here.
open, you see right here. Watch him step and get through that hole. Whoop. There he goes.
His longest run this year is 16 yards. That was for 13.
It's a nice play.
Clock running now with 1:26 left in the first half. Martin again will dance his way left, throws a stiff arm, little stutter step. Can he get to the corner? He's driven out of bounds.
Well,
at
it was
the
almost a first down.
46-yard line.
Almost a first down. That could have been dead to rights in the backfield there. You'll see it on the replay.
I love the
His-
stiff arm, right? There,
Yep.
get out of my way.
Yep. Very athletic, strong kid, and he's got one more gear to get around the corner. He does so, and it's 2nd and 1. So you wonder, with ONU with a little bit of momentum now, getting a stop on defense after the touchdown, are they going to try something interesting here with basically a free down of offense, 2nd and 1?
I did that to a lady at the grocery store when she tried to take the last box Cookie Crunch.
Oh, nobody does that to Michael Hearn.
No. She didn't like it. Deep throw across the middle by Figueroa. He's got a man, and that man has got speed for days, and L.J. Payton, and he overthrew him. Aptly titled Wheelersburg, where he's from.
Right?
That ball was thrown to Route 30
He runs almost as fast as I do.
when you're being chased by, what, a bill collector?
Pretty much. I don't run that fast to dinner,
That lady
Michael. I'm going
walked
to be
away with
honest
a
with
Cookie
you.
Crisp, and then you
Yeah.
chased her, right?
Yeah.
Should have stiff-armed her.
Cookie Crisp. Man, I loved that when I was a kid.
I love that, and I'm an adult-ish.
I haven't had that, and I'm not going to say how long because
3rd down and 2. Figueroa.
Muskies bringing the heat.
Himself got away. He's going to dive for the first down, and he got to the 49. That's enough for an ONU first down.
I'll tell you, Figueroa, no dummy. He saw that heat coming. Now you're going to get a timeout by the Polar Bears. And yeah, you see that heat come. They brought the blitz. They brought 6 guys, and Figueroa just found a little seam and got through it. Very smart. No panic. Very cool under pressure. That's one thing for a freshman that's been impressive today is Taz. Very cool under pressure, and there has been some pressure.
A big thank you to our sponsors in John and Tony's Restaurant, Four Seasons Drive-Thru, Jalapenos Mexican Grill, Whatever Cards and Games, and NKTelco, along with Northwest Ohio Liquidators. And that Jalapenos Mexican Grill here in Ada might have been what Figueroa was trying to dive for. He said, "Can we stop the clock? Or run down the street, get maybe Mike Hearn a chicken and steak burrito?"
That sounds good. Bring a 6-pack of those up here, and we'll be have a real interesting second half.
If you think it's making it back from jalapenos, you're out of your mind. I just marvel, by the way. We talked about this earlier about how big the defensive line for Muskingum is. They use a 3-man front, but they have massive human beings that are all listed at 6'1". There's no way.
Right.
That guy's at least 6'3", 6'4". Trip set left here on 1st and 10. Minute 5 to go. Down 14-7 is Northern on the John and Tony scoreboard. Delayed handoff. Brock Martin got horse-collared and was taken down after he gained a pair of 2.
Anya Nwasisi on the stop. Man, he just hammered Martin in the hole. Looked like Martin saw something there in 92, just absolutely erased it.
He's the guy I was talking about.
6'5",
Martin.
235, Indianapolis.
Oh, and
Figueroa loses the ball.
Just fell out of his hand. Martin picked it up. It's going to be a question.
Looked like an
now,
incomplete pass. Yeah, that's an incomplete pass.
You want this to be incomplete.
Well, I mean, no, you got just picked up 4 yards, but his arm was going forward.
The clock would keep running.
That's true.
It's an incomplete pass, so the clock will stop.
And John and Tony's clock showing 32 seconds. So actually, the incomplete pass helps the Bears.
Pretty famous game, I think, that involved something about that. Anye Nwasi out of Cardinal Ridge High School, 6'5", 235. Now that I believe. He's the big man I was looking
6'5", 235.
I believe that. But there are a couple of these guys listed at 6'1", and they're pretty close to looking him in the face.
Yeah. I beg to differ.
A lot of guys out of Indianapolis.
Taleo Malone, they got 5'9", 220, 32. He's in there kind of at the nose tackle.
4 receivers for Figueroa. Blindside block coming. Deep throw across the middle is going to be intercepted by Muskingum. And now all of a sudden they have a caravan running down the right sideline. And if you're Tristan Howell, the worst part about it is that your guys are the one that bumped you out of bounds.
Now we're going to get a flag on the sideline here. This second half's going to be interesting as Muskingum is celebrating right in front of the Polar Bear bench. In fact, right in front of head coach Dean Paul. And we're going to get a hands to the face. Looks like the side judge just made that motion. We'll see what's going on. Oh, Muskingum's talking. Yeah, look at number 7. You might want to stop doing that because, the guys with the stripes kind of frown on that sort of thing. But what a nice interception. I don't think Figueroa ever saw Tristan Howell.
No, he was definitely looking for an orange jersey, and there was a giant white flash in front of him.
6 foot 225 worth of giant white flash.
A guy who had 10 tackles last week out of Riverside High School in Hudson, Ohio. The referee's asking about Jeopardy categories.
Howell with 40 tackles on the season.
And this is a monster call here in this game because it's 14-7 right now. Muskingum will get the football in the opening of the third. And this is kind of where it's gone for Northern this year, where they've had that bad luck of they've been close, talked about 17-7 with John Carroll. They give up that touchdown. They lose the one that's dropped in the end zone on their own side. And then bad things happen. Now, instead of getting yourself in a position for a field goal,
they got to stop a touchdown. We're in the red zone here. And 15 yards of that came from a personal foul on the sideline at the end of the play. So, if I'm Coach Paul, we're going to have just a quick chit-chat about composure.
I don't think it's just really chat.
Yeah, you just really shot yourself in the foot big time. It was tough enough to have that interception, but they'd have been started at the 30 with 20 seconds to go. Now you've gifted them half that distance to the 15. So let's see if this Polar Bear defense is up to the task.
Muskingum is 15 of 19 this year in the red zone. Throw out to the outside and caught for a first down.
Boy, Trevante Kite runs a nice route inside, little hard stop, comes back outside. No way you can defend that. Beautiful pitch and catch there. Gain of 5. And then smartly out of bounds.
That's the Charlie Tweeter play. Get out of bounds.
Yeah, just whatever you do.
It worked out. 16 seconds to go in this first half. Jordan Garrett in that pistol. 3 receivers to his left and a solo back. Nope. He'll be all by himself. 5 receivers. Now 3 to the left. Oh, and he's got a man wide open across the middle.
Man,
break
somebody
went the
just
wrong way in a 15-yard or a 10-yard touchdown pass.
Jalen Goodman all by himself. Nobody there to even cover him off the play. You just wonder with Edmondson in motion like that, everybody's going to key on him. If 2 guys on that defense instead of 1 keyed on number 9. And the hole that was left in the defense.
Aaron Myers on for the extra point. He's been perfect on the year, but the snap never makes it to him. This holder will just fall down. Doug Crawford out of Zephyr Hills, Florida. Just falls down. We'll keep here with a 20-7 lead. This is not obviously the way that Northern would want to go.
Well, the first turnover that the Muskies grabbed didn't hurt, but this one sure did.
I just marvel.
And the Muskies, like you said, they're going to come back with the football here to start the third quarter. So that interception could be a 13-point swing if you think about it. That's my kind of math. I just kind of make it up as I go.
Math is hard.
Well, and it's Saturday. I stopped mathing around 2 o'clock yesterday.
Shout out to my math teacher, Kathy Seco. She knows I'm not very good with the numbers. So Doug Crawford is a poor victim of that. He has to just cover it up. Northern, again, is in an interesting situation because no matter what this takes, you've got L.J. Payton back there. He's got speed, but do you leave yourself time for 1 or 2 plays, or do you just take the knee?
Right.
Dean Paul, 155-81. ONU is 5-4 on homecoming against Muskingum.
I saw in the media guide, this Coach Paul, this is the winningest coach in the history of the Polar Bears at a 625 clip. I'm glad they already had that tabulated because I'd still be trying to sort out 115 and 69.
It's the ball fell off the tee again. This is a joke about how many times has this happened. It's a comedy routine. Yeah, but you look at it, and again, Northern 51-42-4 all-time here at home on homecoming. The second time that these teams met, back in 1911, Ohio Northern won 103-0. I don't think that we covered that game.
103. I wasn't here for that one.
They had to have enough guys on the same side now with the holder. So much different kick than what it might have been, a rather anticlimactic ending to the first half. But if I'm Northern, I'm not quite sure that I don't just take a knee and get to the halftime break. Ball will be set in front of Jordan Dean, and he dropped it. Picked up by L.J. Payton. His backside, I believe, hit the turf, but he tried to argue maybe that it did not.
That was a fortuitous bounce for the Polar Bears because, man, the Muskies got down there in a hurry, and off of that muff, there was 2 white shirts in there right now. We got an official's timeout as we got a Muskingum player shaken up. But, man, that was a good bounce for Ohio Northern because, boy, if the Muskies get the ball down here at the 25, I mean, with 11 seconds, you got time for 2 plays.
Connor Gurney is the young man down that they are taking a look at. But homecoming festivities here this weekend. Whenever it's homecoming in Northern here in Ada, there's just a different feel. There's cars everywhere. They've got a ton of sports going on. Fall baseball was going on. Soccer always next door. It's always confusing when you hear multiple national anthems.
Yes, yeah, when I came in and parked, I was trying to figure out where to go, and I started following the sounds of the music, and it was the soccer stadium warm-ups. Now, thankfully, the soccer pitch is right behind on the west side of Bill Robinson Field here at Ohio Northern.
ONU will take it from their own 26. Just 11 seconds left in the first half. Figueroa standing in that modified pistol with a back to his right in Brock Martin. That's who he'll give it to. Martin pie faces one guy. It is knocked out of bounds after a gain of 9.
Martin gets that out of bounds. Nice gain. So Martin's had a pretty good first half from a running perspective. Let me have a look here. Yeah, he's got 10 attempts for 31 yards, 3.1 yards a carry. Anytime you can get north of 3 yards, you really want to be north of 4, but more production has come with the Polar Bears kind of spreading out that line of scrimmage, getting Muskies out of the box. I look to see some more of that in the second half because they have had some success with turnovers.
And off to Brock Martin, got the first down. His best run of the year gets him into Muskingum territory to the 44. 22 yards on the gain. One positive note for Northern going forward. That, again, his biggest run of the year, but at halftime, you see the John Antoni scoreboard is a 20-7 lead for Muskingum. Back here in Ada in just a few. You're watching college football here on NKTelco Sports.
Households are using more connected devices than ever before. TVs are streaming, smartphones are browsing, security cameras are watching, and virtual assistants are, well, assisting.
You'll need an umbrella today.
As you add more devices, we are constantly improving our technology to deliver the fastest and most reliable internet to your home. So make sure you have enough bandwidth. Get NKTelco high-speed internet with speeds up to 1 gig. Call 1-888-NKTelco today.
Welcome back for second half action here in Ada. It is homecoming, and rather rude guests are the Fighting Muskies and Muskingum. As you see, they lead the John Antoni scoreboard by a 20-7 margin. As we take a look, Scott, at the statistics, as they show up here in a second, what's your biggest takeaway for how this first half comes?
Well, obviously 2 turnovers committed by ONU, but the third down conversions really jumps out at me for the Muskies. 6 of 10, man, that's a high percentage. That's a good day in the office if you're the offense, and that was something that the head coach keyed in on. That was one of his keyhole pizza keys to the game to start, was to be great on third down, as I believe his exact quotation, and they have done just that. So to look down these stats, obviously a score of 20-7, bad snap on the final PAT for the Muskies, left the point out there. But total yards got a lot closer on the second to last, the scoring drive for the Polar Bears. 206 to the Muskies, 160 to Ohio Northern. Rushing yardage in favor of the Polar Bears, 72-58, but again, a lot of that coming on the last run of the first half. Big 22-yarder there. And then passing yards, really kind of the story here. The Muskies 148 yards through the air to just 88, 38 of that coming for the Polar Bears on the touchdown throw.
I love, it's not in the shot that you see, but the homecoming court is in the back. The royalty, they're back there. And one of the cheerleaders tried to catch the bounce with her pom-pom. It did not go real well. Gwen and Brooks, I did not catch their last name. The young lady in the front, and Mr. Brooks there in his suit, you see with the sash. Goes along rather nicely. The homecoming royalty for this year.
Up there with the photo opportunities.
It's nice.
With
You get
Klondike,
a photo
the polar bear.
with Klondike. First and 10 for Muskingum. They don't like Klondike as much. Fake the little delayed draw and a throw and a screen back across the middle. Dalton Jong with the tackle. I believe that's one of his first, but another big reception for Roger Bacon High School graduate Zuri Edmondson.
I like the design of that play. They draw the defense in with that very slow fake delay handoff, and that frees Edmondson to go rip-roaring through the secondary. Nice way to open the second half on a first down pass play.
Talked about it earlier on. 6 catches, 203, and 2 touchdowns last week. Here comes a steady dive to Mr. Wilkinson again, and his neighborhood will be shut down. Now Dalton Jung, the tackling machine, taking down everybody.
Yeah, kind of a quiet first half by his standards. Only called his name a couple of times, but boy, he made his presence felt there as the Muskies lost 3. Very rare loss of yardage by Mr. Wilkinson. Had a decent first half. I'll get you his stats here in a minute. Rushing, 11 attempts for 35 yards. Longest was 6.
Came out to make that play was Jong, you saw in the replay. Garrett, little bailout screen to his left, and Wilkinson doing what he does now, picking up yardage in both the running game and in the passing game. Jong forced him out of bounds again.
So now
three
he's
Dalton Jong tackles.
Coming alive here. Again, his career high 2 times in his career. He's had 15 tackles in a game. So 3rd down and 5 now for Muskingum.
Muskingum trying to turn it to 11. It goes to 11. You don't get that reference. You need to watch more 80s movies. 3 receivers right, and Jong coming off the backside. Garrett, another quick little inside slant to Jalen Goodman. Like I said in the first half, sit down in the zone if you're an offense playing this defense, and you can probably find good success.
And it's happened pretty consistently throughout this matchup. Again, Goodman, sorry, brain cramp there. Goodman getting a little bit of a space there. Turns around, ball right there out of the break. Nice pitch and catch.
Indianapolis, Indiana, now with that modified pistol set, hands off to Wilkinson. He will dive left, and he gets second effort of a gain of 4 out to the 45.
Drug a couple of polar bears there with him. He kind of partially hurdled a would-be tackler. Now Wilkinson's going to gimp off to the sideline, that right side. I don't know if he tweaked an ankle or maybe caught a helmet in the top of the thigh.
We just saw in the replay when he kind of tried to turn, his knee didn't look like it planted correctly.
We'll keep an eye on that. Hopefully it's not anything of any significance for the senior running back.
Oh, Wellmeyer will come in, and the first play will be a handoff to him. He slipped on his way, never really got going. Ed Manning helped to throw him to the ground, but also the humanity of Kadarius Woodfork.
Man, 6'1", 270. I'll tell you what, that was a big stop right there by Kadarius Woodfork for the Polar Bears. Had a couple helpers as well, but yeah, it looked like the back there, Wellmeyer slipped on, I don't know if it's the paint that's on the field there, a little slick.
I think it's those black pellets that come up underneath.
Yep.
But that's 2 different plays and 2 different running backs that have now gone to the sideline. So you got to go a little deeper into the bag to find another back.
Looks like freshman Carl Collins, number 40 in the game now.
Garrett looking to throw. He's got time, comes to his left, but Woodfork
got a fumble.
only knocks him down, but he forced the fumble. Muskingum comes up with it, but Kadarius now with his second sack, and it puts a ruin to the opening drive of the half. You see him just burst through the line here on this replay.
Well, you couldn't draw it any better here as you see. Oh yeah, just dead to rights, and then that ball coming out as Garrett's going to the ground, but credit Kadarius Woodfork there. Couple very nice athletic plays, and ONU couldn't script it any better here, Michael. If you're the Polar Bears, come out of the locker room, shut down that Muskie offense, and get the ball back, and let's go.
Austin Ike and Jack DeMario back to return for the Bears. It's a high punt, just quickly fell out of the air for DeMario. Fields it back at his own 14, got tripped up by the first guy through, and the second one ends up cleaning him up to keep that from being a massive gain, because he had a lot of room to run in front.
Stephen Irvin, a hometown boy for the Muskies from Zanesville, which is where the Muskingum campus is, east of Columbus. Philo High School, 6'2", 240 freshman on the stop, number 91.
Does that mean he was electric?
That That could be.
Philo's nickname is the Electrics.
Yeah.
Anybody who doesn't know.
That's good. That's good. That's good. So let's see if the Polar Bears can get something going here. Their offense showed a few signs of life, had a nice pitch and catch for a touchdown to Dean.
Fortunately, go back to a couple of plays. They really couldn't get anything going long term in the run game until Brock Martin on the last 2 plays. This is going to be Jameer Nunley. He's not going to find any room to run.
No, the Muskies have done a really nice job of taking away the inside run game for the most part. Now, again, the Polar Bears have had more success on the ground than has Muskingum, but only 58 yards, I believe, in that first half on the ground.
Jameer Nunley out of Mayfield High School in the greater Cleveland area. 3 receivers right on 2nd and 11 for Figueroa. Taz looks, he'll keep it himself. Tucks and runs across the 30, and he slips his way out to the 34-yard line. Good run by him to pick up 10.
Just a little short of the first down, but that play broke down quickly, and Figueroa, showing a good athletic ability, finds a running lane. And he's tough to tackle. He's quick, good vision.
Oh, I see. He turned inside on his step on that replay. Great camera shots by our guys as well to show that. Figueroa will keep it this time with Martin as his lead blocker. And I'm not sure. I don't think he made it. Well, the official on the near side, he didn't even waste any time.
Yeah.
He just threw his hand and said, let's go.
Very, very
thought
close.
Martin kind of maybe slowed him down. He was trying to push him through the hole. Well,
Tristan Howell in there on the stop for the Muskies. But nice job there by Figueroa. He let Martin go wide and tucked inside kind of behind the center guard on that right side and got that yardage.
I really thought he was going to push him to the outside, though, because he just kind of continued to follow him maybe around the end. He just couldn't get there. So 1st and 10 for the Bears now. Figueroa looks, and he better look again. Mama, there's that man. Nobody is going to block Antoine Murphy, it looks like, and he was just shot through the hole. The freshman out of Jacksonville, Florida.
Here you see it unblocked. Figueroa had no shot at anything there. Nice,
An
nice
8-yard
play.
loss. Out of Mandarin High School in Jacksonville, Florida. It's the exact same place, by the way, that Brian Maxwell, the right tackle, is from. 3 years apart, but maybe recruited one another. Said, you know where's really nice to visit? Zanesville, Ohio. Pitch play coming up for Austin Ike. Got through the hole, jumped over the 30, but was taken down before he could really turn and get loose by the safety or the linebacker in Austin Wilforth.
Yeah, Wilforth did a nice job of tracking him down kind of from the backside. Here you see it. Little jet sweeper. And Wilforth had been coming in the inside and just took a right turn and caught up with
6 or
the
7
runner, Ike.
on the play. Austin Ike, I said it a couple weeks ago, and he caught a ball pretty close to immediately. It's Jet Morgan back in on the opposite side, 24 receptions in his career. But the slot receiver in Ike, they got to get him going. Down 20-7 on the John and Tony scoreboard. Figueroa, pressure from the backside, flushed out, throws left, and on the catch.
Boy, what a nice job by Figueroa. Pressure came, he felt it,
Throws a
stepped
dart
up.
to L.J. Payton.
Sure did, man. Nice job by Payton to come back.
On the bottom side for L.J. Payton. Still short by a yard, though, with the first down.
Boy, the football was up near the 45-yard line.
Call the replay booth.
Tough spot right there, but again, they're a lot closer than I am.
This is a big call. Figueroa is the quarterback. He's in the pistol with Brock Martin on his right. Remember, Northern tried this earlier in the game, about 30 yards ahead of where they're at, and didn't get it. This time they'll get it. Figueroa with the stiff arm just enough to get over the line.
Nice play design there. They get the box loaded and then push the run to the outside. And if the offensive line gets enough push, you'll see it here on the replay. It kind of clogs everybody up trying to shift over to where the ball is. And yeah, you see it right there. All those guys get trapped inside. And all they needed was a yard. They picked up about 2.5, and it's first down Polar Bears.
It almost worked out, too, that high snap sort of changed the rushing pattern for the Muskies. Northern in the shotgun, 2 receivers at a tight end left for Figueroa. Claps the hands, fakes the handoff to Nunley. Looked to throw, and the problem was every single guy in his way, including Austin Wilforth. 2 sacks now on this drive for the Muskie defense.
Yeah, Wilforth there, you even saw him leave his feet as it looked like Figueroa was going to pull the trigger. Wisely pulled it down, or that could have been real ugly. Maybe a batted ball, pick 6 type situation. As it is, they lose 5 on the play, but Austin Wilforth, the sophomore linebacker, having a really great series here for the Muskies.
This is either going to be some kind of play involving Nunley, or again, I just say as the penalty flag comes.
Well, it's not delay.
Play clock was at 13. That's going to be against Ohio Northern. Noah Miller.
Must have been lined up beyond the line of scrimmage. Ouch.
6'5", 245 junior, 1 catch this year for 4 yards.
It's hard to miss 6'5", 245 lined up in the wrong spot, Michael. And now ONU, man, they've got to get all the way out to Highway 30 here from here to get this first down, all the way over to the 48.
For me, though, because I've seen him for now what feels like 10 years in one of these bright orange jerseys. Fake the handoff to Nunley, rolling left, inside traffic, fires on the comeback. There's Miller. Wasn't hard to find him that time around either.
Sure wasn't. Right there at the midfield stripe. So they're back inside the sticks, which makes third down a little more manageable coming up here. So they go from 2nd and 19 to 3rd and 7.
Just his 2nd catch of the year. Nunley out, Brock Martin back in. It's a flip on the defensive end to send out some large gentlemen.
Well, the O-line that time, Michael, did a nice job of giving Figueroa just enough time to let Miller work loose in the center of that Muskie defense.
3 receivers to the left might be Brock Martin, but again, Jet Morgan split wide left. Figueroa takes the snap, good pressure, and even better blocking. Go across the middle, he got greedy. I think he missed Austin Ike on that outside route.
Yeah.
Because he threw into what will amount to, you'll see it for yourself, pretty close to quadruple coverage.
Yeah, apparently he was looking at number 8, Peyton. But yeah, you're right there. Peyton draws so much attention downfield. It looked like Ike was wide open.
And that's a shame after picking up that last 4th down that Northern won't get anything out of their first possession in the second half. Still trailing 20-7 on the John and Tony scoreboard. Hey, you can tweet us at NKTelco Sports, at Michael Hearn PvP. And is it just at Scott Fry?
At Scott M. Fry on Twitter. M as in Michael.
Wow, goodbye. Watch out, Route 75.
Little punt into the end zone, so that's going to cut the net by quite a lot.
Tell us where you're watching from or who you're rooting for. We've got one more Northern game coming up in a couple of weeks to look at what the Polar Bears have on their schedule. After this, they'll go to Marietta next Saturday for a 1:30 contest. They'll go to Otterbein on the 5th of November. The 5th of November, you must remember. And then to home. They come back home on the 13th against Wilmington for a 1:30 first kick. Other OAC games going on, I'll tell you about in a second, as the quick handoff for Muskingum picks up a couple of yards. So the Dalton Jong tackle watch continues. Gain of a yard on the play by Wilkinson. But the other OAC games going on today, you've got Wilmington at number 2, Mount Union. Capital at number 25, John Carroll. Otterbein at Baldwin Wallace. And then Marietta at Heidelberg.
Dalton Jong is in on 9 tackles, Michael. 4 solo and 5 assists. He's got a tackle for loss, so another big day for number 17, the sophomore.
The OAC. Garrett, bootleg out to his right, throws across his body, and he hit his man in motion just that quickly to Jaleel Goodman.
Boy, he did a nice job of working open here at the 35-yard line. Play took a little while to develop, so they roll Garrett out to his right. And he finds Goodman in stride.
Just again. Goodman, by the way, plays football at 150 pounds at 5'6". He was actually a state champion level wrestler. He got to the state tournament when he was in high school. He wrestled at 113 pounds. Oh, by the way, then he ran the 200 meters in 22.3 seconds. So he's fast and he knows how to use his body, exactly what he did on that last route.
That's a bunch of sentences I will never say about myself, including weight and speed.
I had 2 pieces of pizza at the half. I'm just kind of struggling through it now.
I got 113 pounds in my right thigh.
Makes me want to take a nap.
That's impressive.
He's now the gentleman wide out to the left on 2nd and 6. Garrett in the modified pistol. Hands to Mr. Wilkinson.
Good to see him back. He limped off on the start of the last series.
You know, and it's funny because I watch way too many movies, and there's a movie called The Replacements. It's one of my favorites. And the guy's name is Earl Wilkinson. So I have to stop not to call him Earl Wilkinson.
Yeah.
It's Donnie Wilkinson who's putting his stamp on this ball game.
And he's another fine product of Lakota football down in Westchester, Lakota East.
45 yards on 17 carries. So now 3rd down and 3. It'll be a quarterback keeper. Beaver, oh, it just missed on the outside, and he's driven out of bounds by Ed Manning. I thought this earlier on. There's no gain on the play. Kadarius Woodfork, if you see number 5, right at the 45-yard line on your screen, as he comes off, look how his jersey is almost ripped in two.
He's got a situation going on there, hasn't he?
The official is talking to him about it. I don't know if it was the shoulder pad or if that's a clear indication they cut the jerseys around the armholes to try to stretch, but that he was being held.
That looks like a sign of holding, doesn't it? Because that jersey is pulled all the way off of the front plate of his shoulder pads.
Super Jack DeMario back to return. They'll wait for the kick. Northern went after the block. High arcing kick. Bounces at the 30 and takes a thud. And just keeps on rolling. Like Fred Durst, just keeps on rolling.
Just keeps on rolling. So here come the Polar Bears. 1:11 to go on the John and Tony's scoreboard here in the 3rd period. Time to get something going on offense. They're certainly not out of this. Only down by 2 scores. And really with that missed extra point on the final touchdown before the half, it kind of leaves them a little door if they can leave the door open a crack there.
The crazy thing is, as you're saying 1:11, I'm thinking that can't be right. Only been a couple of possessions here in this quarter, but I look up, man, the 3rd quarter just sort of zipped its way by.
Sure did. A lot fewer penalty flags
out of it. So Figueroa in the shotgun again, sidecar to his right, and Brock Martin, one of the best rushers in program history. Figueroa takes the snap. Brock Martin with a good block, forces just a second and a sideways ball that Austin Ike out of Rossford, Ohio watches.
That's a long throw all the way over to the far flats for Figueroa. And I'll tell you, Muskingum's getting really nice pressure. They just brought 3 on the rush that time, but number 60, Doug Atkins, the junior D lineman, another 6-footer, 240, almost got home.
Out of Fort Myers, Florida. Not that far from where Figueroa's from. Tinchman might have false started. Now looking on the dump, Davey Berner will catch and run near the 1st down. Watch out, guys, with the sticks.
Chain gang's got to be moving.
Working on the chain gang's getting a whole new meaning and a gain of 9. Oh, he gave him the 1st down. I guess if you hit the guy with the stick.
If you run the guy over, you get it. Yeah, no, that was a little. That was a false start on the PA announcer there. They're still a yard short. 3rd and 1.
I was
out of the
confused
29.
because I thought he only got 9. Mike Miller got excited. There's none better, by the way, in the area.
He hammered the fellow on the far 1st down marker there.
Kept by Figueroa. He went right side and he ran right into your guy, Doug Atkins.
They did, but I'll tell you, Figueroa, the little leg drive, that's going to be a Polar Bear 1st down. Nice job there by the Ohio Northern signal caller.
Northern's got a choice here about whether they want to run a play or not. It does not. Well, maybe they are going to. Figueroa with 17 seconds left in the third. 3 receivers to his left. Tight end right, Martin on his left hip with 9 seconds. Clock continues to roll down to 5 as he will go with the quarterback keeper. Got around the first big body that came through the line. Picks up 3 and ends quarter number 3. John and Tony scoreboard 20 for Muskingum, 7 for Ohio Northern. Bears will try to change that when we come back for quarter 4 here on NKTelco Sports.
Hi, I'm Mallory. My grandpa's been making the world's worst pizza for 30 years. That doesn't look like the world's worst pizza. Grandpa, I know why they call you Chunky Bob. It's because you use chunky ingredients on your pizza.
Of course, it's not because I'm fat.
Grandpa, this is the world's best pizza. Keyhole Pizza, come check Grandpa out.
Dine in or carry out.
At First National Bank, we are working hard to make your life a little easier. With products like Card Valet, an app allowing you to control your cards with real-time notifications, transaction restrictions, and spending limits. The ability to access your money through 55,000 all-point ATMs across the country, surcharge-free. Live customer support when you need it, and online and mobile banking, allowing you to gain access to your financial information wherever and whenever you like. First National Bank, making your life a little easier.
Quarter number 4. John and Tony scoreboard just up the street from us on Main Street here in Ada. Will probably be quite busy. But a 20-7 lead for Muskingum. Northern will try to change that, pick up the second down, and try to get their offense going.
Yeah, this third quarter, not a lot of activity, no scoring, all defense. Ohio Northern, it's go time if you're a Polar Bear fan.
Make the handoff to Brock Martin. Beautiful play fake down the middle. LJ Payton. I was just going to say, if that's not pass interference, I no longer know how you call it.
Boy, LJ Payton had to come back to the football, did a nice job adjusting, but he was pulled to the turf well in advance of the arrival of the football, as indicated by the yellow laundry laying at the 35-yard line.
Queston Lintz, a sophomore out of Cienega High School in Tucson, Arizona. He's one of 2 different Toscanians for this team.
Toscanians?
I got a buddy who lives there and I've actually visited. So all I heard when I was there was Toscanians.
Interesting. That's a beautiful part of the world. Mount Lemmon right there, big Air Force base. Not too far from Tombstone.
It's too hot.
Tucson isn't as bad. If you get in the Valley of the Sun in Phoenix, man, that is smoking.
First down on the penalty for Northern. Handoff fake to Brock Martin again at Figueroa. He wanted to release outside to Austin Ike, who was running up that wheel route that worked earlier on the backside, but he just wasn't going to be able to get it there. And like you talked about on that sack he took in the third, smart enough to just tuck it and get what he could.
Yep, absolutely. Second down and 8, live to play another down. I'll tell you on that pass interference call, if Figueroa, and he's thrown into the wind on that play and he had to air it out, but if he can hit Peyton in stride, Peyton was probably 3 yards behind the defense. He had him soundly beat.
It's the other, by the way, Andrew Gonzalez out of Sunnyside High School. It's Brock Martin with another big run down the right sideline. He's got a man up on his back, and he does a somersault down to the 25-yard line. 26-yard pickup for Ohio Northern and a first down on the longest run of the year for Brock Martin.
Let's have a peek here if this we get this replay. Look for number 75, big old Zach George, 6'2", 285 out here leading the way. As he pulls, here he comes. Just looking for somebody to run over. But once they got through the point of attack there with the pulling guard, Martin does the rest. Beautiful play there for a Polar Bear first down.
Davey Berner, the tight end to the right side. Brock Martin. Well, that did not go well.
Boy, oh boy, Austin Wilforth.
But it was the initial pressure through the line. I believe that was Jamar Hicks, the senior, who just absolutely destroyed whatever that play was supposed to be.
Yep, Jamar Hicks and Wilforth behind him. So lost. They're lucky it was only a loss of 2 forward progress.
Jack DeMario back into the ball game. 3 different guys signing in plays, including an offensive lineman with a couple of quarterbacks. I think that maybe they need a 4th one after that last play. Second down and 12 for Ohio Northern, trailing 20-7 on John and Tony's scoreboard. Quick snap, Figueroa looking. He had him in on the outside, but his hopes of getting that big play were dashed by Jeremiah Livingston.
Boy, what an athletic play. Livingston just ate up the blocking back. I think that was a back out there. See if we can get a replay on this, but man, just ate up the blocker and was right in the face of Figueroa. And it is third down on Alger from here out at the 34. Here's your replay. Oh, we'll get a view from the quarterback. Yeah, watch this. 47 just comes right past the blocker.
I think with Nick Tangeman checking in, you can almost call it third and Chickasaw. Call it third and 19. Osgood, take your pick.
It's a ways.
North Star. Figueroa now. Everything moving to his right. Steps up in the pocket, unleashes one. His man caught it, but his back was laying out of bounds.
Tough play right there.
For this, by the way, was the third time that Figueroa has been sacked in this half.
Yeah, they've done a nice job of getting pressure. I don't know if they've changed up some schemes up front. They didn't quite get there in the first half, but this second half, they've done a nice job of getting in Figueroa's face, making it tough.
What's your 4th and 19 play?
Yeah, don't have that one in the book.
To be honest, I think up and out with Ike, who's the second man to the left.
Yeah, let him run behind the outside guy.
Steps up, looking to run. He'll be flushed out of the pocket. He had to. He stepped over the line. He tried to get back, but a takedown loss on the play, and a turnover on downs for ONU.
So Austin Wilforth, the sophomore linebacker from Champion High School up in the northeast part of the Buckeye State, making his presence felt. I believe that is 3 sacks for the young man. I'll get on my defensive statistics here. Let's see. Wilforth, 2 sacks.
Ball at the 35, right to left for Ohio Northern.
Actually, it's a sack and a half.
Or sorry, for Muskingum. There, handoff to Wilkinson. Defense snuffed it out, and he's still nearly made him pay for it. Dalton Jong in on the tackle as he is joined by Michael Johnson out of Bellbrook High School, who I believe next week Bellbrook is going to host the Western Buckeye League team as they get Salina in the playoffs.
That'll be a good matchup. AJ DeSouza also in there on the stop for the Polar Bears. So ONU needs to be thinking turnover here, maybe a little risk reward on defense.
A little razzle dazzle. Man across the in front. It's a rapid throw, just up and out of the hands. It's never good when your left tackle is getting up, looking at you off the ground and saying, hey, what happened there?
Yeah, was that me?
Oh, was incomplete.
That was the old my bad play.
Brings up 3rd and 9. That was the my guy got me on that play.
The traditional lookout block. Hey, look out.
Last year, this game again came down to a field goal with 27 seconds left from 23 yards. Right now, though, Northern down 13. No scoring in the second half as we're at 11-11. If that kind of thing makes you wish for something big. Tripp said right. And they throw back across his body again to Edmondson. Edmondson's not going to gain very much. About 3 or 4. It'll be 4th down.
Polar Bears do a nice job of putting a little bit of pressure on Garrett. And they forces him to check down to the underneath route where they easily stop Edmondson. And so a nice 3 and out, very timely for the Panthers.
Scazafava now with the punt again. Still rocking that long hair. Second team OAC from a year ago. He was recruited as a kicker, by the way, but he's out of Citrus High School in Florida. Good kick from him, one of his best. And it'll be called for a fair catch by Austin Ike at his own 19-yard line.
Well, you said it earlier, Mike. I think you really got to get 84 involved if you're the Polar Bears. He's got a big wingspan. He's a long kid. You know, the defensive backs for the Muskies are not particularly large human beings. They're quick. They've done a nice job of covering the Polar Bear receivers. But you feel like there's got to be a jump ball opportunity or that up and out that you mentioned where you can take advantage of Ike's height difference.
Either that or you're going to try to go something here with Jordan Dean, the receiver. See number 7 on the bottom half of your screen. Figueroa. Clap of the hands. Hands off. Nope. Kept it in front of Nunley. Now it's the quarterback out in the open, and Taz looking like the devil out to the 41-yard line.
Little read option there, and you see Dean did his best to take the ball from Figueroa. You watch on the replay here. Boy, great camera work. And Figueroa keeps it. He saw something he liked, and it turned into some positive yardage there. So the Polar Bears now with a big first down out at their own 44.
Yeah, I'm not sure that Nunley was not, hey, I was trying to take that ball from him. So now into the backfield, a quick hand coming the other way for Dean, trying to get him into space. A rare carry. He'll pick up 4 yards.
Well, you feel like if you can get him into open field, open space, he can make something happen, but he cut back inside, and a slow Muskie there getting up. Tristan Howell, looks like his right knee got dinged a little bit, and he looks to be okay. So 2nd and 6 now for Ohio Northern.
Northern trying to get something going here on this drive. Clap of the hands and a man in Morgan in motion. Fake the handoff to Martin. And that lead of the touch pass for Austin Ike incomplete at midfield.
So 3rd down and 6 now for the Polar Bears. Again, they tried to get Ike downfield, just unable to get the pressure. Looked like maybe Figueroa might have had to throw a little sooner than he wanted to, as the Muskies were bringing the heat. They feel like they can kind of literally smell blood in the water, as the muskellunge is a predatory fish. Little known fact there, Norm.
I see what you did there.
Member of the Pike family.
Slot. Somebody's taking home an extra $200 from the 50-50. Not like the 11,000 they had last night at Coldwater Marion Local.
Yeah, 11-6.
Fakes the late draw. Martin helps pick up a block, but a throw intended for DeMario hits the turf, and it's now 4th down and 6. This is
just unable to connect here.
A precarious situation. 8:58 to go in the John Tony scoreboard in the 4th. Down 13 to where nearly everything within reason is a 4-down territory.
Yeah. And you're really going to have to lean on your defense if you can't pick this up. It's almost tempting to try and punt into the wind and pin the Muskies deep and try to flip the field here, but they really want to go and get some points.
Trips right, fake to Martin, roll out, using him as a blocker, and the ball knocked down by, looks like Tristan Howell.
Tristan Howell, yeah, went up the ladder there.
So just to recap this half, 3 punts, a turnover on downs, another punt, and another turnover on downs. And now Muskingum taking over at the Ohio Northern 45-yard line.
And a nice bit of field position here for the Muskies. Really kind of backs against the wall for the Polar Bears. This is a must-stop series here. 3-0 is absolutely necessary. You figure like one more score, whether it even a field goal here really
Low
hurts.
snap. Quick little late handoff. Still 3 yards, but the kind of the thing for that is Wilkinson was full speed by the time the ball got to him.
Absolutely. Just taking a look at some of these statistics here on offense for the Muskies. Wilkinson now 18 carries, 44 yards, just 2.4 a carry with a long of 6. The better rusher from an average perspective is Jordan Garrett, the quarterback. He's had to carry the ball 6 times for 22 yards, but the Polar Bears have done a nice job on run defense. Where they've gotten torched is in the passing game.
Yeah, that sit down in the zone and just kind of wait as Wilkinson on the full speed, all a man ahead, gains another 3 yards. Not the worst thing in the world, though, because he continues to matriculate the ball up the field and to keep the clock moving.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, right now the clock is not your ally if you're the Polar Bears, so they've got to get this stop right here.
By the way,
and we're in a strange part of the field. I don't think we're going to be in field goal range if the Muskies don't pick this up. So be tempted to see if they try to go for it. just to keep the clock running and get that first down.
I would think so. Low snap for Garrett, throws on a comeback. If that was outside, his man did not see it. Incomplete. So to bring up fourth down, we'll find out here real quick. But while we have a second, you see those replays. Shout out to Jim and Scott in the truck and the camera work. I'd say we're biased, but our guys are the best.
Absolutely. We had a lot of dynamite replays. You could see very well what's going on the field. We sure do appreciate it. Makes our job a lot easier.
Mark and Kurt and Paul are doing a terrific job. A lot of the things, I swear, I never even have to really point it out on these replays. I see something during the live, and it shows up on the replay.
Yep. It's almost as if they've done this before.
It's a high arcing kick. That one is headed into the end zone, out of the end zone, up the hill, and it made the concrete to Grandma on the fifth row.
We got a homecoming dance out here at the 40-yard line.
Well,
again,
this is fun.
And 2 flags, so now we're offsetting.
Can we get 3? Can we get a third flag?
Everybody's coming out here to get guys off of guys. Again, the special teams have been pretty chippy with one another from the opening kickoff here. Number 10 missing a hat. So we'll see. This will probably come down to offsetting personal foul and sportsmanlike conducts, and we'll go on.
I think one of these penalties is on you.
Is that so?
I'm pretty sure.
It's possible. I get a little excited up here.
I know what happens when you come to Ada.
It's hard not to get excited.
Cameron Cox for Ohio Northern had to be asked, could you please go take a seat? Meanwhile, Northern's offense is on the complete other side of the field, trying to regroup, and Jordan Dean's got his hand out of, what is going on at this point? That's a question I would like to ask.
See, I wonder now if you get a second unsportsmanlike. I'm not sure in Division III, is that an escort from the building, or?
I would believe so.
Because there have been numerous. This is the first dust up in the second half, but there have been numerous meetings, discussions, if you will.
They send you over to Kinghorn and they give you a broom and they just make you mop up for the rest of the game.
That's right.
I love these Northern helmets, so I didn't really get a chance to look at them up close. You were talking about it earlier on with the matte black, but with the white and black and the logo.
Yeah.
It's a sharp looking kit.
And then they got their numeral on the right side of the helmet.
And you can't miss these bright orange jerseys.
No. It's like they melted down a bunch of traffic cones and sewed them into jerseys.
That's last night, the St. Mary's student section.
I think somebody from Ohio Northern might be going home as you see this official coming over here to talk to Coach Paul.
St. Mary's student section had the same colors on last night. I couldn't tell if they were Halloween inspired, they were convicts, or if they were the road crew trying to fix that bridge over the highway. Dean Paul is about as calm right now as I've seen anybody in a long time, but he might not be when this is over.
Yeah, there's been a lot of jawing back and forth. And now I think we're going to be seeing some young men reap the rewards of those efforts as notes are being taken at the middle of the field by the gentleman in the white cap. He's got his pen and notebook out. And so
he's asking, what time can I start my date? Let's go have dinner, urinate, and go to the movies. So you guys know what time the movie starts?
A little margarita over at Jalapenos. Go see the movie.
So everybody taking, maybe he's taking orders.
Like everybody's taking notes, yeah. Lunch orders.
So what do you guys like over there? Again, chicken and steak. You get half and half. You get one of the really nice kids like I had there a couple weeks ago after the Mount Union game, and he'll maybe extra scoop ya. I was just informed that they figured out that Black Adam starts at 3:50 here in Ada. This microphone's not working out real well because of the amount of wind.
Being treated to a bit of psychedelia here on the ONU campus. I saw a lot of unsportsmanlike conducts and offsetting motions and things. So I got to believe a couple of individuals were probably set aside for the remainder of the afternoon.
So Northern had to have had 2 penalties, right? Because we were out near midfield.
We were. You're right.
And it's now.
And they're 30 yards
back. At the 20. Okay. So Northern must have had a 2-to-1 combo on penalties there?
No. There was a punt. We've punted. That was a punt. Remember, this is special teams, and that punt went out near Highway 30. So they're back at the 20. So this must be offsetting. Because
that was 10 minutes ago.
The Muskies just punted. Well, I've had a nap since the last play, but goodness. I couldn't make out what he was saying over the mic. The band was playing and the wind was blowing across his mic.
All I heard was wah, 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 wah.
Yeah, it was like an episode of Charlie Brown.
So Figueroa will be in the shotgun with Brock Martin on his right hip, trailing 20-7 on the John and Tony scoreboard. Bootlegs to his right. He'll throw up on the wheel route of the comeback, and a chance to get there for Austin Ike. Just thrown just enough behind him that he couldn't make that shoestring catch.
That's a tough throw. Downfield like that, running. Hard to get your shoulders square. Can't really get your feet set. So they'll scratch one up in the dirt again and try it. 2nd and 10.
Clemson beat Syracuse 27-21. Ohio State put up a bajillion points today, I think.
Boy, how about that Iowa offense? They are having a time.
Nice snap for Figueroa. Down into the body of Brock Martin, who was able to lance his way up for about 3 or 4 yards.
In there on the stop, Austin Wilforth, again, that sophomore linebacker having a busy day. He's got a sack and a half on defense. I misspoke earlier. I was looking at his season totals. He's got 3 on the season and 1.5. Been a total of 4 sacks today. Antoine Murphy, Jeremiah Livingston, each with a sack. Austin Wilforth with a sack and a half. Justin Bell, the other half of that one.
2 left and 2 right for Figueroa here on 3rd and 6. Martin sidecars to his left. Figueroa takes a snap, flips the ball in his hand, throws on the throw down the middle. That's got to be targeting.
Boy, oh boy, defenseless receiver.
Hit, but a high hit against.
That's a horrible play.
Austin Ike on an incomplete pass.
They had him stopped. That was 3rd down.
I'll be honest with you, that's one of those plays. Watch the replay. You're running full speed if you're a defensive back, but it's very hard to. I don't know if it's harder to stop your body, but he takes a step or 2 after it's incomplete.
Well, and he drops his shoulder, lowers the boom.
And then Ike, thankfully, hit that looked like high collarbone, bottom of the face mask.
Yeah, at least it wasn't a shot to the head. That's got to be a 15-yard late hit, defenseless receiver. We'll see, if they call that targeting. That's an escort from the property.
I'll be honest with you. I thought at first, again, we sit at the 50-yard line, but a distance across the field, that it looked like more helmet. That replay showed more shoulder than I thought it was. But just again, you get one view and try to gain from 40 yards away exactly what that was. Officials got a lot of conferencing going on today.
A lot of conversations. Here we were moving along pretty good in the second half, but that has come to a screeching halt here in the 4th quarter. No scoring this second half.
Again, Northern will be on the road the next 2 weeks before they come home to finish off the regular season. Right now sitting at 1-5, 1-4 in the OAC.
Muskies will return home to host John Carroll.
Here's another look at that play. Throw across the field. Way long for Ike, but 1, 2, and then the shoulder. I mean, it's a pretty easy call. It is shoulder.
Looked like shoulder to chest. It just looked worse than maybe it was. Ike bounced right up. Bounced right up.
I think that was Andrew Gonzalez out of Sunnyside High School in Tucson. Northern got a penalty? Wow.
I don't understand what I just saw right there. Maybe something had to have been said on the field after that happened, because that was a hit that was possibly flaggable. Wasn't egregious. So I wonder if a polar bear said something to the official after the hit.
Like a late hit. He took 2 extra steps.
Huh.
So the no penalty for the targeting, but what I'm saying is that if there's not a penalty there for targeting, there should have been a late hit.
Yeah.
So 4th down for Northern and 6 yards for Figueroa. So he brings LJ Payton inside the slot on the right side. Looking to throw deep down the left side. He's got Jet Morgan, who's a step late. No penalty flags, so it'll be a turnover on downs for ONU.
And over there on the far side, number 14, Nick Sheldon. Over there in coverage, timed his jump, his contact with the arrival of the football. And so at this point, you're just going to have to punt here. Oh, that was 4th down, excuse me, goodness. Kind of went to sleep there. No, this is 1st down here for the Muskies. My apologies.
A couple of plays. I've lost 2 pens in this half now. I don't know what's going on. I don't need it. Wilkinson forward to the 25. Loses a yard.
Connor Rowe in on the stop. Also Josh Bever.
Connor Rowe on the tackle.
And again, no hurry here by the Muskies as time slowly winds down on the John and Tony scoreboard, up by 13. The ONU defense has given the offense their opportunities here in the second half, but
talked about killing the clock earlier. Here's Wilkinson. Another little shimmy shake. Doesn't get him much more than 3. But there is some really bad blood between these teams. I don't know what happened, especially when you consider the fact that there's not really any kids from either hometown of the school.
No.
They're from all across the country.
The only thing I've noticed is that the gentlemen and some of the gentlemen in the white have been rather verbal at the end of plays here and there. Nothing egregious, but you got to keep your composure. And, you know, the Polar Bears got to be a little frustrated here. They've not been able to do a whole lot on offense.
4th best offense in the OAC at 25.7 points per game. They lead 20-7 on the John Tony scoreboard.
Boy, close to a false start on that motion, man.
Throw out to Edmondson. He tried to run that little quick stop and spin. Down to the 9-yard line, though. He gains 14 yards and a Muskingum 1st down.
So the Muskies in business there. It looked a little close to a false start as that motion receiver kind of got stuck between reset and go. But it must have been close enough, kind of that rolling stop at the local patrolman lets slide.
Muskingum picks up 18 first downs a game. They have 16 after that play. So they hit Cincinnati, Ohio, Zuri Edmondson. Pistol play. Wilkinson comes right. I would be willing to bet you that's Dalton Jong in on the tackle again after a gain of 1. AJ D'Souza in as well. And an injured player on the field will stop the clock. He was able to get himself back up, and it'll be the right guard, Kamari Hill, out of Chaminade Julienne High School. And if you haven't seen their field, it's gorgeous.
Yep.
Downtown Dayton.
Looks like Kamari will come out. Good to see him off under his own power. And that'll bring in number 78, Chase Sotar.
John Carroll leading Capital 35-10. Other games going on in the OAC. So now on 2nd and goal. Quarterback keeper on a late kind of run, and the decision for Bears make that tackle, including Josh Beaver.
Boy, it looks to me like ONU's playing some inspired, energetic defense here. Little chip on their shoulder.
Third down and goal, 3:33 to go in the fourth quarter. Northern leads the all-time series, but Muskingum won last year, and they're trying to put their stamp on this ball game.
Yeah, Coach Dean Paul, 14-3 versus Muskingum.
So they're going to let the clock run down. Play clock's at 10. Game clock now at 3:10. And Muskingum's going to take a timeout. Ohio Northern trails by 13 here in quarter four. About 3 minutes ago in this ball game here on NKTelco Sports.
Together, we are family, working safely for our loved ones.
We are problem solvers who challenge the status quo and drive improvement.
We care about our customer relationships.
We stay true to our values, caring and respecting one another.
We embrace change as we journey through our career.
We are Precision Strip, the world's leading processor of rolled steel and aluminum.
Precision Strip, doing the exceptional.
.302 to go in quarter number 4. 20-7 is the lead on the John and Tony scoreboard for Muskingum. Ohio Northern again said this a couple of times. They'll be on the road after today, trying to get themselves right to pick up their second win of the season. And they'll be out for 2 games. They'll come back here in a couple of weeks, and we will wrap up the regular season at that point. The Bears with an interesting schedule. Muskingum's got home against John Carroll, at Wilmington, and then home for Marietta left on their schedule. Looking to throw is Garrett. Back corner of the end zone. Watch out, cheerleaders and people sitting anywhere near the flag.
That football had some mustard on it. You look at Jordan Garrett's numbers, 19 of 29, 208 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Pretty nice afternoon.
Field goal unit coming on about the exact same spot that Miles Aldrich blocked that kick earlier on today. Look at Jordan Garrett on the career, though. 35 games, 4,900 yards, 44 touchdowns, 20 interceptions. And he holds a slew of school records as Aaron Myers on to attempt the field goal, and he got it up and in. So a 23-7 lead now for Muskingum. 2:54 to go. We'll stay here and look at the scoreboard. It says 23-7, 2:54 to go right now. I mean, what do you feel, though, Scott, if you're Northern? You go into this game, you've been blown out your last 2 games at home against number 2 and 25 ranked teams in the country. You're able to hang in here for a good portion of this game. You had a chance to get to 14-14. Just things kind of fell sideways.
Well, with a young quarterback trying to force the ball in, one was a more of a fortunate tip drill play, that first interception that the Muskies got, and the defense held. No pain there, but the other interception, trying to work the ball in where there are just too many white shirts, and give the Muskies a 6-point freebie there, and that's kind of been the difference. The defense has hung in here pretty well, but the offense just not able to get anything going. You look at total yardage right now, 250 for the Polar Bears to 272. So they've hung in there between the 20s. They just haven't been able to make the plays to finish drives.
It says October on the calendar. It feels like September.
Sure does. Man, it is beautiful.
Speaking of, it doesn't matter what month it is. Mount Union up 56-0 to begin the fourth on Wilmington. Obviously 23-7 here in favor of Muskingum about 3 minutes ago. John Carroll up 35-3 at the half on Capital. Baldwin Wallace in Berea. 28-7 on Otterbein. And Marietta 21, Heidelberg 13 with about 5 minutes to go in the second quarter. The lowest or the longest start time of any game today. Is third time the ball has had to have been held. That wind in Ada is something else.
Just a little breezy.
Ball headed towards the end zone. That is where it will stay. And same lady not paying attention, sitting halfway up the hill, about took her out.
Got to keep your head on a swivel here in Ada.
Third time that ball has almost hit her in the face. All right. So ONU back the other way in front of a capacity crowd. A great crowd. Probably
beautiful day for homecoming. Walked through the tailgate area on the way to the stadium. A lot of good food.
Came back to see how their money is being spent.
That's right. A lot of good fun.
Very well. Can't say enough, by the way, about the hospitality that ONU provides us as well. Tim Glahn, the SID, does a terrific job, as well as Tom in the athletic department. Figueroa throws across the middle and caught, somehow held on to for a gain of 30. Biggest play of the game for Northern since their touchdown, but at what cost? Sort of reception to LJ Payton.
Yeah, LJ Payton got popped right there by the linebacker, Wilforth. Boy, when you go aerial and have to hang and catch a ball.
Watch how he lands. He'll land, looks like on his hip.
Yeah. Yeah, he got hit on the left side and landed on the right side. And he is still down right at midfield. So that's an expensive first down. There we go. Good to see him get to his feet. So that's good.
That is a young man that is a big part of what Northern does. And he had his right hand up on his hip. And I believe that's when he dips, you dip, I dip. When his hand's on his hip.
Something like that.
Yeah, I think that's how that goes.
But credit Austin Wilforth, laid the lumber on that tackle, but damage done. First down, Polar Bears.
So now a 4x1 set. It's a good thing you can't hear what comes from the truck. Figueroa drops back, looking, dances left, coming left. You better just take off. He is near the line, fires deep down the sideline for Jet Morgan, who makes an acrobatic catch to the 15-yard line.
Nice play there. 6'3", used all 6 foot 3 inches up the ladder, and it is inside the red zone at the 16-yard line.
That's just his third catch of the year
for the Polar Bears. And man, what a nice play. Figueroa did a nice job of buying himself some time. Good protection.
2+ minutes left in the fourth. Figueroa now will just roll to his right and fires into the turf.
Boy, if he throws that sooner, he's got Ike down near the goal line. He's got Ike open. He found himself a little spot in the zone, but Figueroa just a little slow. A little slow getting the ball in there.
So Taz, gaining about a successful high school career in Florida. It's going to be a good one, I'm telling you right now. A freshman, and he's making better decisions with the football than he did earlier on in the season. Just, I believe, his third start after taking over. He actually would have been his fourth start, but he missed the game. Now standing in the shotgun with Brock Martin on his right hip. Martin will be in there to catch a block.
Big hold.
Penalty flag and a hold on the shortstop throw across, incomplete for Jack DeMario.
Yeah, Jamar Hicks was tackled, brought to the ground, and that's probably what enabled Figueroa to live, because Hicks was bringing the heat. He is shaken up. Looks like his right shoulder as he exits the playing surface.
And that's a shame. Again, you never want to see any kid go off, especially late in the game like that. Zephyr Hills High School in Zephyr Hills, Florida. Now Martin on a second down, and Westminster. It's kind of a pistol set, fakes the handoff to Brock Martin. Martin picked up a block. Unfortunately, didn't pick up the right one. Somehow able to get away is Figueroa. He throws short on the comeback to Jack DeMario.
Boy, oh boy. Figueroa making it happen. It looked like Austin Wilforth was going to get him in the backfield. Figueroa, a little bit of a Houdini there, has to reverse his field and gets an extra about 6 yards.
Taken down there.
Yeah.
He got 12 yards on the play.
Yeah.
DeMario's first catch of the day.
That was going to be a big loss.
Shotgun set again. Just that little modified version. Out route and incomplete for Nick Tangeman at the sticks. It's definitely Nick Tangeman. So 4th down and 8 for Northern. They can get a first down and keep this drive going. One of their most productive drives of the day.
Yeah, this is about as deep as they've gotten into Muskie territory inside. They haven't played much football inside the red zone.
So at this point, drive that ended with a 30-yard touchdown, but outside of that, massive play for Northern. They come in 4 of 10 on 4th down this year. Clap of the hands for Taz. Looks to his right, throws on the comeback, and I'll be honest with you, even if Jordan Dean doesn't slip, I don't know that he's going to be able to come back to get that ball.
No, he was committed hard to the inside, and it was all he could do just to stop and try to turn around for it, and that ball was well outside. So, again, turnover on downs for the Polar Bears, and at this point, Muskies pick up a first down, and it'll be victory formation.
So Northern has a terrific record on this field under Dean Paul. They're 60-29. He's been the coach since this facility was put together. Are in danger of dropping to 0-4 here in what is supposed to be the friendly confines of Dial-Roberson Stadium. Hand off to Wilkinson. Dalton Jong again with a tackle. Two guys just collapsing. Immovable object, unstoppable force.
Absolutely.
Gain of 3.
And that should bring Jong up to 14 tackles on the day.
His high this year is, 17?
I thought it was 15.
Maybe 15. He had 15 on a couple of different occasions.
Yep.
So Muskingum will take a timeout. Minute 16 to go in the fourth quarter. It's 23-7 on the John and Tony scoreboard in favor of Muskingum. A beautiful afternoon here in Ada. So we take a quick timeout here on NKTelco Sports.
Wagner's IGA has been servicing their communities for more than 95 years, spanning 3 generations. Wagner's founded their business on 2 basic principles: excellent customer service and quality products. Visit all our locations and experience the finest selection of deli, fresh meats, and variety of beverage choices. While there, don't forget to check out our vast selection of fresh coffee beans, produce, dairy, and bakery items. Visit Wagner's today in Minster, Fort Laramie, and New Bremen, and check us out on Facebook.
Completely. We're trying to guess songs during the break, and we're on a completely different pace. Should have picked the Halloween song. Do the time warp. So ONU down 23-7. Wilkinson just continues to fight across to the 22-yard line. Picks up 5, brings up 3rd down, and this.
It's like one of those backs that just gets stronger and tougher as the day goes on.
I really thought that was going to be kind of a let it go sort of thing, but I think it's Northern. I can't hear the officials because of the wind in their microphones using these timeouts.
That puts Wilkinson 25 carries, 60 yards on the day. Not a bad day on the ground.
So Northern has taken 2 timeouts now in succession. They have 1 left, but you've got to make this stop right here or it's really kind of inconsequential.
Talking about Dalton Jong earlier, came into today's contest with 70 tackles on the season to lead the Polar Bears. And he's got 4 solo, 10 assists, and one of those is a tackle for loss, so a total of 14 tackles.
Number 2 in the OAC coming in. He's moved up because he was 3 going into the John Carroll game. Minute 9 left on the John and Tony scoreboard.
And he's in the program as a safety, as a defensive back.
And off to Wilkinson, and Downey might have gotten a yard. A question of, did he get enough? He did, and Northern took their last timeout. So enough.
But that first down right there, Michael, that's going to be the death knell here for the Polar Bears. See their record drop to 1-6, 1-5 in the conference.
See, now you're in that odd spot, though, because didn't hear what he said. Because the play clock is running, but there we go. The clock runs now out of the timeout.
Yep.
So 1 final play should be all it should take. Well, they're going to be offset by a couple of seconds. But it'll be a 23-7 win for Muskingum. They will knock off Northern for the second straight year.
That'll put the Muskies over 400. Over 400. How about over 500 at 4-3? And in fact, also over 400, and they will come even to 500 in the Ohio Athletic Conference at 3-3.
Well, you were right. 400 is, you got to get to 400 to get to 500.
You got to, if you're over 500, you're over 400.
I think that's how that goes. So Ohio Northern will fall 23-7, the final on the John and Tony's scoreboard. We're going to begin to put this one away when we come back. It's homecoming, but not necessarily happy for the Bears. They fall 23-7 here on NKTelco Sports.
Unpack your potential with a career at Pratt Industries. Working at Pratt Industries is more than a job. It's a sustainable career.
Pratt Industries to me is a job. It's my career. It's the way I put food on my table, but I love what I do.
We offer competitive pay, excellent benefits, and opportunities for career advancement. To apply, visit careers.prattindustries.com.
CarriageWorks has expanded and now can hold up to 25 cars in our service bay. CarriageWorks thrives on customer satisfaction. We accomplish that by providing top-of-the-line technology. CarriageWorks now uses a laser beam system to measure down to the millimeter of factory specs to better service you and get you back on the road. CarriageWorks has a brand new top-of-the-line paint booth that uses waterborne paint. There's no job too big or too small for CarriageWorks. We're certified collision specialists. Come in and see us today.
We are here, and here, and here. Minster Bank is everywhere, providing every banking service that you need to keep your financial life in order. Whether you are on the go or stopping by one of our branches, Minster Bank is here for you. We proudly support the communities where you live. Minster Bank, helping people achieve financial success.
There you see the John and Tony's scoreboard, 23-7 Muskingum, as they get to, some would say 500 on the season. Some would say 400. They're probably wrong. But a look at the stats will take an interesting view of how this game comes to be. One thing you won't see on there necessarily, though, that's a big thing for me, is third down conversions.
Yeah.
Muskingum was 9 of 18. Northern was 4 of 15, and then 1 of 6 on fourth. But the numbers don't, again, this is one of those, the numbers are kind of misleading. Northern was able to put together that last fast drive, and remember the one right before the half, the Brock Martin drive.
Yep.
And they ended up winning the total yards battle, 321 to 280. Pretty close in passing yards. They win the rushing yard category, but just the two scores that matter are the two top scores at 23 and 7.
Absolutely. I think that second interception was really the difference there, because again, if ONU can continue that drive and score, that's 7 points for them. But it went the other way, 6 points. PAT was missed. So even if they don't turn the ball over and don't score, they're only down by 10 at that point. So big, there's the first interception you saw there, that tip drill. ONU held Muskingum there.
Muskingum will go to 4 and 3 overall, 3 and 3 in the league. Northern drops to 1 and 6 and 1 and 5. Next time that we have them is coming up on November the 13th against Wilmington, who's currently getting blown out by number 2 Mount Union. a lot of things, a lot of points and big plays left on the field for Northern. Just, again, things don't go your way. Muskingum's able to capitalize.
Yep.
You see the replays. And a big thank you to our sponsors for this ball game in John and Tony's Restaurant and a Four Seasons drive-through, Jalapenos Mexican Grill, whatever cards and games, NKTelco, along with Northwest Ohio Liquidations. And that's kind of how the game comes to be. It's the old, that's how the cookie crumbles. Northern makes 1 or 2 plays a game that kind of separates how things go. If they don't necessarily go their way, we saw it against Mount, we saw it against John Carroll, and now here against Muskingum. It's a team that is doing a lot of the right things. They just don't have it all coming together yet.
Yep. No, a lot of good potential there, a lot of fine athletes. And again, I think a bright spot is Taz Figueroa. You see that nice field goal block there, speaking of highlights for the Polar Bears. But I think he's going to be just fine. He's got great vision downfield, good pocket presence. He can sense when the pressure's coming. Maybe that second pick was a little forced in there, but he'll learn. That's a freshman thing, and he'll be just fine. But I'd say blue skies ahead for that young man and the Polar Bears there.
Don't forget, you can catch replays on NKTelco Channel 3 or HD on 503. This game will air on Thursday the 10th at 5 p.m. or Sunday the 13th at 4. You can find NKTelco on demand through YouTube, Facebook, and nktelco.com/sports. A massive thank you to Mark Bissell, Kurt Kuffner, and Paul Downing, our cameraman, who do an outstanding job, our assistant director in Jim Miller, and the voice of God in my headset, the director in Scott Robinson. For Scott Fry, all I can think of to say is happy birthday, Steph, and for the rest of you, have a great night and an even better tomorrow.